现在有请博鳌亚洲论坛秘书处李保东先生主持开幕式。Let's welcome Mr. Li Baodong, Secretary General of the Baoa Forum for Asia, to moderate the opening plenary.
尊敬的中华人民共和国副主席王岐山阁下，尊敬的博鳌亚洲论坛理事长潘基文阁下，副理事长周小川阁下，尊敬的中国第13届全国政协副主席何厚华阁下，尊敬的各位部长，香港特别行政区行政长官林郑月娥女士，何一成澳门特别行政区行政长官何一成先生，各位省委书记、省长、驻华使节和国际组织代表，各位来宾、女士们、先生们，首先我荣幸地宣布，博鳌亚洲论坛2021年年会正式开幕。在今天开幕式上致辞的有各国领导人和国际组织负责人，他们是中华人民共和国主席习近平阁下，中华人民共和国副主席王岐山阁下，文莱达鲁萨兰国苏丹哈桑纳尔陛下，智利共和国总统皮涅拉阁下，印度尼西亚共和国总统佐科阁下，哈萨克斯坦首任总统纳扎尔巴耶夫阁下，大韩民国总统文在寅阁下，老挝人民民主共和国主席通伦阁下，新加坡总统哈利马阁下，斯里兰卡民主社会主义共和国总统戈塔巴雅阁下，越南社会主义共和国主席阮充松阁下，孟加拉人民共和国总理哈希纳阁下，柬埔寨王国首相洪森阁下，马耳他共和国总理阿贝拉阁下，蒙古国总理奥云格尔登阁下，新西兰总理阿德恩阁下，国际货币基金组织总裁格奥尔基耶娃女士和联合国大会主席博兹科尔阁下，我谨代表博鳌亚洲论坛感谢。今年是博鳌亚洲论坛成立20周年。20年前，20多个亚太国家在中国海南共同发起成立博鳌亚洲论坛，旨在促进亚洲各国团结合作，推动区域经济一体化。20年来，博鳌亚洲论坛得到了东道国中国的大力支持和有关国家的以及国际组织的积极的帮助。论坛与时俱进，开拓创新，致力于促进亚洲与世界的连接， 为亚洲和世界发展凝聚正能量，为构建亚洲和人类命运共同体发挥积极的作用。下面，我们通过一个纪念短片，了解论坛20年的发展历程。
20世纪末，为促进区域合作，共同应对亚洲金融危机，菲律宾前总统拉莫斯、澳大利亚前总理霍克和日本前首相喜川护熙发出倡议，呼吁成立一个共商地区事务的亚洲论坛，得到了亚洲国家广泛支持和积极响应。2001年2月27日，在发起成员国共同努力下，博鳌亚洲论坛正式宣告成立。20年间，论坛见证了亚洲和世界的沧桑巨变。20年来，论坛立足亚洲，面向世界，为加强亚洲和世界其他地区间的经济交流与合作，促进自由贸易与多边主义，携手构建亚洲命运共同体做出了积极贡献，逐渐成长为世界高端论坛之一。博鳌亚洲论坛得到中国和全球众多企业的大力支持。论坛的合作伙伴不仅代表着行业的风向标，也是经济全球化的重要推动力量。每年春季，在中国海南举办的年会，是博鳌亚洲论坛最受关注的旗舰会议，影响力不断扩大。东道国中国领导人出席了历届年会，并发表主旨演讲。除年会外，博鳌亚洲论坛在亚洲与世界各地举办了各种专题会议，并推出一系列研究报告，在国际社会共同关心的议题上发出了博鳌声音，与全球分享博鳌智慧。在历届理事会的带领下，论坛与时俱进，不断创新，积极拓宽自身视野，以经济议题为主线，合作重点向科创、健康、教育、文化、媒体领域延伸。在博鳌亚洲论坛的第一个20年，亚洲已成为世界经济的重要引擎，亚洲各国相互联系更加紧密，相互依存度日益增强。下一个20年，论坛将不忘初心，勇于开拓，为亚洲谋兴盛，为世界谋繁荣，为人类谋发展。
下面我邀请博鳌亚洲论坛理事长潘基文阁下致欢迎词。
State and government ministers, Vice Chairman Zhu Shaochan, and Secretary General Li Baodong, dear colleagues of PFA Board and Council, ambassadors, heads of international organizations, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depends upon where you are. Ni hao. On behalf of the Baoa Forum for Asia, I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to you for attending the PFA Annual Conference 2021. This is an annual highlight of the Baoa Forum. But getting special this year due to the global pandemic that has plagued the world far more than a year. Travel restrictions have made it impossible for many of us, including myself, to join you personally on the site today. But thousands of miles away, I can still feel the warmth and enthusiasm of this grand gathering. Delighted to see faces and hear voices of friends, old and new, through the screens. The toughest is behind us. What a year! At the beginning of 2020, no one would have imagined that a tiny virus would plunge a modern world into an unprecedented crisis in many ways. It is a public health crisis that has infected tens of millions and taken millions of lives. It is a social crisis that locked people down at home, emptied our streets, shops and restaurants, shut down offices and factories, and put life to a sudden halt. It is an economic crisis that has taken away equivalent to 255 million full-time jobs and set the world economy back to a degree unseen since the Great Depression and the two great wars. But countries, businesses, and households have demonstrated resilience, resolve, unity, and innovativeness. The forum's host country, China, and quite a few others have done well in containing the virus, saving lives, minimizing losses, and getting the economy back to track. Businesses have adapted better than expected and managed to carry on. Governments are learning the lesson and striking the delicate balance between containment and economic reopening. Accommodative fiscal and monetary policies are in place to help people before the private sector catches up. Most importantly, vaccines are getting to market faster. After a whole year of uphill fighting, we are finally able to see light at the end of the tunnel. Challenges, however, still abound. The virus is still here with us and far from over yet. All forecasts on recovery this year have to be done with caution. Without equitable and affordable to vaccines, developing and emerging markets risk lagging further behind their advanced peers. Global growth risks an uneven and rugged path. 90 million people have fallen into extreme poverty. Deteriorating health and schooling will take its toll on human capital and further subdue productivity. And do not forget, the looming crisis of climate change leaves us little time to wait and waste. That is the reason why we are here today, online or in person. As leaders, we are duty-bound to stand out in challenging time and lead with a vision, insights, and solutions. And we must think, plan, and act together for the shared future for us all. As the theme of this year's annual conference goes, in a world of changes, we must join hands and stand as one, improving global governance, enhancing international cooperation, and moving the world closer to the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals through innovative initiatives such as the Belt and Road. For the Baoa Forum for Asia, the year 2021 carries a special significance. 20 years ago, our founding fathers envisioned a forum for Asia that can get Asia united and strong in the face of crises such as the Asian financial storm. They believed that Asian economic integration was the best buffer against the shocks and robust engine of Asian development. For the last 20 years, we have been working hard to translate their vision into reality. It is a long, arduous, but worthwhile journey. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you, your friends from Asia and the world, to join us in this great undertaking for the shared future for Asia and the world. Thank you for your leadership, and 谢谢. Thank you.
感谢潘基文理事长的致辞。现在，我荣幸地邀请中华人民共和国副主席王岐山阁下致辞。
首先说明啊，我不是致辞，在这次博鳌亚洲论坛的全体会议上，致辞的是我们国家元首习近平主席。但是呢，主办方我到场了，大家总要给我安排个角色。我领会呢，是吧？这个角色呢，就是做一个临时主持人。临时主持人也很重要。临时主持人呢，是吧？我只是为我们的习近平主席的致辞呢做一个报幕。这体现了，啊，我们中国对我们的主席的高度的尊重。尊敬的各国元首、政府首脑、国际组织负责人。尊敬的潘基文理事长，各位嘉宾，很高兴出席博鳌亚洲论坛2021年年会。今年是博鳌亚洲论坛成立20周年，我谨表示热烈祝贺。作为论坛的东道公国，中国政府始终大力支持博鳌亚洲论坛发展壮大。习近平主席专门为今年年会录制了视频，就促进亚洲和世界的发展繁荣阐述中国立场，分享中国方案。下面，请大家以热烈的掌声欢迎习近平主席发表视频主旨演讲。
尊敬的各位国家元首、政府首脑，尊敬的各位国际组织的负责人，尊敬的各位博鳌亚洲论坛理事，各位来宾，女士们、先生们、朋友们，与君远相知，不到云海深。很高兴出席博鳌亚洲论坛2021年年会，同大家在云端相聚。首先，我代表中国政府和中国人民，并以我个人的名义，对出席会议的线上线下所有嘉宾表示热烈的欢迎。 对各位新老朋友表示诚挚的问候和美好的祝愿。今年是论坛成立20周年，20年来，亚洲国家深入推动区域经济一体化，协力促进经济社会发展，推动亚洲成为全球经济最具活力和增长潜力的地区。亚洲和世界各国携手应对恐怖主义、印度洋海啸、国际金融危机、新冠肺炎疫情等传统安全和非传统安全威胁，努力维护地区稳定和安全。作为亚洲大家庭重要成员，中国不断深化改革开放，积极推动地区合作，与亚洲同进步，与世界共发展。论坛见证了中国、亚洲、世界走过的不平凡历程，为促进亚洲和世界发展发挥了重要影响力、推动力。女士们、先生们、朋友们，本届年会是在特殊背景下召开的。年会以世界大变局、共襄全球治理盛举、合奏“一带一路”强音为主题，恰逢其时，具有重要现实意义。当前百年变局和世纪疫情交织叠加，世界进入动荡变革期，不稳定性、不确定性显著上升，人类社会面临的治理赤字、信任赤字、发展赤字、和平赤字有增无减。实现普遍安全，促进共同发展依然任重道远。同时，世界多极化趋势没有根本改变，经济全球化展现出新的韧性，维护多边主义、加强沟通协作的呼声更加强烈。我们所处的是一个充满挑战的时代，也是一个充满希望的时代。人类社会应该向何处去？我们应该为子孙后代创造一个什么样的未来？对这一重大命题，我们要从人类共同利益出发，以负责任态度做出明智选择。中方倡议，亚洲和世界各国要回应时代呼唤，携手攻克疫情，加强全球治理，朝着构建人类命运共同体方向不断迈进。我们要平等协商，开创共赢、共享的未来。全球治理应该符合变化了的世界政治经济格局，顺应和平发展合作共赢的历史趋势，满足应对全球性挑战的现实需要。我们应该秉持共商、共建、共享原则，坚持真正的多边主义，推动全球治理体系朝着更加公正合理的方向发展。要维护以联合国为核心的国际体系，维护以国际法为基础的国际秩序，维护以世界贸易组织为核心的多边贸易体制。 国际上的事应该由大家共同商量着办，世界前途命运应该由各国共同掌握，不能把一个或几个国家制定的规则强加于人，也不能由个别国家的单边主义给整个世界带节奏。世界要公道，不要霸道。大国要有大国的样子，要展现更多责任担当。我们要开放创新，开创发展繁荣的未来。开放是发展进步的必由之路，也是促进疫后经济复苏的关键。我们要推动贸易和投资自由化、便利化，深化区域经济一体化，巩固供应链、产业链、数据链、人才链，构建开放型世界经济。要深化互联互通伙伴关系建设，推进基础设施联通，畅通经济运行的血脉和经络。要抓住新一轮科技革命和产业变革的历史机遇，大力发展数字经济，在人工智能、生物医药、现代能源等领域加强交流合作，使科技创新成果更好造福各国人民。在经济全球化时代，开放融通是不可阻挡的历史趋势。人为筑墙、脱钩、违背经济规律和市场规则，损人不利己。我们要同舟共济，开创健康、安全的未来。战役仍在进行，胜利终将到来。我们要坚持人民至上、生命至上，加强信息共享和联防联控，提升卫生医疗合作水平，充分发挥世界卫生组织关键作用。要加强疫苗研发、生产、分配国际合作，提高疫苗在发展中国家的可及性和可负担性，让各国人民真正用得上、用得起。要全面加强全球公共卫生安全治理，共同构建人类卫生健康共同体。要坚持绿色发展理念，共同推进应对气候变化国际合作，加大落实应对气候变化巴黎协定。要坚持共同但有区别的责任原则，解决发展中国家在资金、技术、能力建设方面的关切。我们要坚守正义，开创互尊互鉴的未来。多样性是世界的基本特征，也是人类文明的魅力所在。经历了疫情洗礼，各国人民更加清晰地认识到，要摒弃冷战思维和零和博弈，反对任何形式的新冷战和意识形态对抗。国与国相处，要把平等相待、互尊互信挺在前面。动辄对他国颐指气使、干涉内政，不得人心。要弘扬和平、发展、公平、正义、民主、自由的全人类共同价值，倡导不同文明交流互鉴、 促进人类文明发展。在此，我宣布，中方将在疫情得到控制后，即举办第2届亚洲文明对话大会，为促进亚洲和世界文明对话发挥积极作用。女士们、先生们、朋友们，我多次说过，一带一路是大家携手前进的阳光大道，不是某一方的私家小路。所有感兴趣的国家都可以加入进来，共同参与，共同合作，共同受益。共建一带一路追求的是发展，崇尚的是共赢，传递的是希望。面向未来，我们将同各方继续高质量共建一带一路，践行共商、共建、共享原则，弘扬开放、绿色、廉洁理念，努力实现高标准、惠民生、可持续目标。我们将建设更紧密的卫生合作伙伴关系。中国企业已经在印度尼西亚、巴西、阿联酋、马来西亚、巴基斯坦、土耳其等共建“一带一路”伙伴国开展疫苗联合生产。我们将在传染病防控、公共卫生、传统医药等领域同各方拓展合作，共同护佑各国人民生命安全和身体健康。我们将建设更紧密的互联互通伙伴关系。中方将同各方携手，加强基础设施硬联通以及规则标准软联通，畅通贸易和投资合作渠道，积极发展丝路电商，共同开辟融合发展的光明前景。我们将建设更紧密的绿色发展伙伴关系，加强绿色基建、绿色能源、绿色金融等领域合作，完善“一带一路”绿色发展国际联盟、“一带一路”绿色投资原则等多边合作平台，让绿色切实成为共建“一带一路”的底色。我们将建设更紧密的开放包容伙伴关系。世界银行有关报告认为，到2030年，共建“一带一路”有望帮助全球760万人摆脱极端贫困，3200万人摆脱中度贫困。我们将本着开放包容精神，同愿意参与的各相关方共同努力，把“一带一路”建成减贫之路、增长之路，为人类走向共同繁荣做出积极贡献。女士们、先生们、朋友们，2021年是中国共产党成立100周年。100年来，中国共产党筚路蓝缕，求索奋进，为中国人民谋幸福，为中华民族谋复兴，为世界谋大同，不仅使中华民族迎来了从站起来、富起来到强起来的伟大飞跃，也为人类文明和进步事业做出了卓越贡献。中国将继续做世界和平的建设者， 全球发展的贡献者，国际秩序的维护者。中国将始终高举和平、发展、合作、共赢旗帜，在和平共处5项原则基础上，拓展同各国友好合作，积极推动构建新型国际关系。中国将继续同世界卫生组织以及各国开展抗疫合作，坚守疫苗作为全球公共产品的承诺，为发展中国家战胜疫情提供更多帮助。中国无论发展到什么程度，永远不称霸，不扩张，不谋求势力范围，不搞军备竞赛。中国将积极参与贸易和投资领域多边合作，全面实施外商投资法和相关配套法规，继续缩减外资准入负面清单，推进海南自由贸易港建设，推动建设更高水平开放型经济新体制。欢迎各方分享中国市场的巨大机遇。女士们、先生们、朋友们，同舟共济，扬帆起，乘风破浪，万里航。尽管有时会遭遇惊涛骇浪和逆流险滩，但只要我们齐心协力，把准航向，人类社会发展的巨轮必将行稳致远，驶向更加美好的未来。谢谢大家。
感谢习主席致辞。Thank you for Mr. President's speech. 下面有请文莱达鲁萨兰国苏丹哈桑纳尔陛下致辞。Next, please welcome His Majesty Sultan Haji Hasna Bakia Muyazuddin Wadalab the Sultan and Yang the Patron of Brunei Darussalam for remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, Your Excellency President Xi Jinping, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to Secretary General of Baoa Forum for Asia for the invitation and the opportunity to speak at this auspicious event. This year marks another milestone in the history of our relations as we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the ASEAN-China dialogue relations, as well as the establishment of diplomatic relations between Brunei Darussalam and the People's Republic of China. It is also encouraging to note that the Baoa Forum for Asia has been active for the last 20 years. Indeed, the theme of this year's forum, A World in Change, joins hands to strengthen global governance and advance Belt and Road cooperation, is appropriate and timely. Last year was a most challenging year for all of us when we were confronted with a global virus like no other. It has disrupted our social and economic order on a scale that has not been seen before, in the modern world. The Asian region is not spared from its negative effects, which have severely impacted economic activities, disconnected supply chains, limited people's movements, and interrupted industrial activities. During this difficult time, ASEAN has shown its solidarity and joined hands to mitigate the impacts of the pandemic without losing sight of our integration efforts. We also appreciate the active contribution by the dialogue partners and in particular the cooperation between ASEAN and China has indeed become stronger. In this regard, we should continue to build on the momentum to accelerate the post-pandemic recovery efforts. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Brunei Darussalam, as the chair of ASEAN for 2021, has the honor to lead the region towards economic recovery. The theme, "We care, we prepare, we prosper," affirms ASEAN's collective commitment to care for its people and prepare for future challenges and opportunities, with the goal of ensuring that the whole of ASEAN community can sustainably prosper. Under the ASEAN Economic Community, Brunei Darussalam has identified 13 priority economic deliverables. These deliverables show our determination in focusing our efforts towards the region's economic recovery post-pandemic, while leveraging on new technologies and digitalization to ensure sustainable economic growth in ASEAN. The signing of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, RCEP, last year not only demonstrated our concerted effort towards advancing international trade cooperation, it is also intended to strengthen the regional recovery efforts. In this regard, the Belt and Road Initiative will further complement the revitalization of our economies. It is a significant project that will contribute to regional connectivity and further enhance the economic landscape. It can also present opportunities for us to work together in many areas and through sub-regional forums such as BIM-EAG. In closing, I look forward to the continuous strengthening of ASEAN-China cooperation to maximize the prospects and efforts towards achieving regional sustainable economic growth. This forum will be one platform that can promote such development. I therefore wish the organizers a successful event. Thank you.
下面请智利共和国总统皮涅拉阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Sebastián Pineda Anchinic, President of Chile, for remarks.
Good morning. I wish to convey my sincere wishes of success and prosperity for this year's annual conference. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate China for the organization of this important event, and of course to thank the Chinese government for their kind invitation to address this forum, which has strongly contributed to the economic integration and development of Asia. As you are well aware, Chile has a long-standing political and economic relationship with the Asia Pacific. In the political front, we have a long history of friendly diplomatic relations with the region. On the economic front, Chile has developed strong bilateral economic bonds with many Asia Pacific countries through a wide network of trade agreements. We also have been a member of APEC since 1994, and we consistently participate in many multilateral initiatives. During these particularly difficult times, with all the threats and challenges that we face, as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic and the world economic recession, it is more important than ever that the international community unites its efforts towards an expedite, inclusive, and sustainable recovery. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a profound impact on all countries. Chile has not been an exception. And as most of the countries in the world, we have been working to ensure the health and safety of our people, and at the same time, mitigating the adverse impacts on the pandemic on our economy. As you all know, to secure the health of our citizens, vaccines are fundamental, but not enough. However, we can't only strive to guarantee the access to vaccines for our own citizens. Doing so would allow the disease to continue its spread, increasing the risk of the emergence of more contagious or lethal variants. No one is truly safe until everyone is safe. On this regard, I would like to commend China's efforts to scale up vaccine production and to ensure that Chinese-made vaccines are available not only for the Chinese population, but also for persons all across the globe. The Chilean vaccination campaign, that has already covered over 50% of our target population, would not have been possible without the cooperation and friendship of the Chinese people. Aware of this need for increased cooperation, Chile has been working to strengthen the global health architecture. Within the framework of the World Health Organization, we have proposed the adoption of a global and legally binding instrument for preparedness and a multinational response to pandemic situation, an initiative that I hope will be well received by the leaders present here today. But cooperation is not only required to defeat the current and future pandemics, it will also be key in the recovery process that we have already started. Multilateral enterprises, such as the Belt and Road Initiative, will play a fundamental role in the post-pandemic economic recovery. We have a responsibility to make sure that this recovery is an inclusive and green recovery, to make sure that the economy and the world that we build after leaving this pandemic behind is a better one, a more equitable one, a more sustainable one. This will be the global challenge of tomorrow, and it requires us to agree today on global solutions. One of these solutions is the necessary shift towards cleaner energies that we must all embark on. Renewable energy has been and will remain at the heart of the sustainable reactivation of the Chilean economy. We plan to play a leading role in the development, production, and utilization of new, cleaner forms of energy. Last year, taking advantage of the conditions granted by us, by our geography, Chile launched its national green hydrogen strategy, setting the pathway to position our country as one of the largest and most efficient exporters of this clean fuel in the world by 2030. This will support not only our own climate neutrality goals, but also those of other countries. During the last year, we have witnessed how the disruptions caused by the pandemic have moved governments of all countries to question their own role in the world trade and how to address the economic slow down during times of crisis. Unfortunately, many governments have chosen to take a step back by adopting protectionist measures with a negative impact on the flow of goods, investments and services, connectivity and global supply chains. Far from it, Chile has chosen to stay on the course and to persevere on its approach of a rules-based free trade policy. My government firmly believes in the importance of strengthening the World Trade Organization and standing against trade protectionism. We are convinced that in these particularly difficult times, more countries should commit to support an open, non-discriminatory and rule-based trade system worldwide. It is my hope that this conference will be a platform for everyone involved to engage in a constructive and fecund dialogue in the search for policies and measures that allow us to work together towards identifying new areas of collaboration, pursuing integration and seeking better opportunities for all our citizens. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight that we all share the same hopes and a common vision for continued prosperity in the Asia-Pacific region, for reduced inequality, and for building a better future for all of us. Finally, I wish to express my sincere gratitude with China and also my sincere wishes to strengthen Chile's tie with the Baoa Forum and all its participants, and our commitment to explore ways to collaborate in areas of common interest. Engaging in dialogues like the one opened here today is the path towards a greater integration and also the path to a better future for all our citizens. Thank you very much.
下面请印度尼西亚共和国总统佐科阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Joko Widodo, President of Republic of Indonesia, for remarks.
Yang Mulia Presiden Xi Jinping, Yang Mulia Ban Ki-moon, hadirin yang saya hormati. 6 tahun lalu saya berbicara di depan Baoa Forum for Asia ini. 6 tahun yang lalu kita melihat pertumbuhan positif ekonomi dunia, dan kita baru saja melewati tahun 2020, tahun yang penuh dengan tantangan. Pertumbuhan ekonomi dunia tahun 2020 mengalami kontraksi cukup signifikan. Pandemi COVID-19 menciptakan tantangan besar bagi dunia, baik aspek kesehatan maupun dampak sosial ekonominya. Di tahun 2021, proyeksi ekonomi dunia lebih baik dan mulai tumbuh positif kembali. RRT bahkan mencatatkan kenaikan PDB 18,3% pada kuartal pertama 2021. Ini adalah sebuah harapan bahwa tahun 2021 akan lebih baik. Namun kita harus bekerja keras untuk mewujudkan proyeksi positif tersebut. Perkenalkan saya sampaikan beberapa pemikiran. Pertama, kerjasama melawan COVID-19 dan kerjasama kesehatan harus terus ditingkatkan. Dunia harus menang melawan COVID-19 jika ingin melihat pertumbuhan ekonomi kembali pulih. Salah satu yang akan menentukan kemenangan kita melawan COVID-19 adalah vaksin. Kesetaraan akses vaksin bagi semua negara menjadi sebuah keharusan. Pandemi COVID menguji kita apakah bahasa indah dan prinsip-prinsip kerjasama yang selalu disampaikan di berbagai forum internasional akan dapat dijalankan. Can we walk the talk? Data menunjukkan bahwa kawasan Asia baru dapat memvaksinasi 8% populasi, sementara negara maju memvaksinasi 30% populasinya. Kita juga harus bersiap menguatkan kerjasama kesehatan guna mengantisipasi pandemi berikutnya. Belanja kesehatan di kawasan Asia hanya 6,6% dari PDB, jauh dari negara maju yang mencapai 16,5% dari PDB. Oleh karenanya, investasi di bidang kesehatan sudah waktunya menjadi prioritas. Beberapa sinergi yang penting untuk diperkuat antara lain pengembangan early warning system, pengembangan industri kesehatan, peningkatan kapasitas SDM kesehatan, dan peningkatan kapasitas riset dan inovasi teknologi kesehatan. Kedua, pentingnya upaya mempercepat pemulihan ekonomi. Investasi dan perdagangan adalah kunci. Prioritas investasi Indonesia adalah di bidang infrastruktur, pengembangan sumber daya manusia, dan pengembangan ekonomi digital dan pembangunan hijau. Indonesia terbuka kerjasama investasi di 3 bidang utama tersebut. Di bidang perdagangan, ekonomi tertutup bukan pilihan. Kerjasama menciptakan free and fair trade harus menjadi rujukan. Integrasi ekonomi kawasan yang saling menguntungkan menjadi pilihan. Oleh karena itu, penandatanganan RCEP akhir tahun 2020 adalah momentum untuk terus memperkuat integrasi ekonomi. RCEP diprediksi meningkatkan perdagangan kawasan 10% dalam 5 tahun ke depan dan berkontribusi 187 miliar US dollar pada PDB kawasan. Ketiga, pentingnya kerjasama menciptakan stabilitas dan keamanan. Saya prihatin, khawatir melihat terus meruncingnya rivalitas di antara kekuatan besar. Rivalitas berpotensi menciptakan konflik. Konflik akan merusak ekosistem damai yang diperlukan dunia untuk keluar dari pandemi dan pemulihan ekonomi. Budaya kerjasama sangat diperlukan dunia saat ini. Indonesia sangat berharap negara-negara besar dapat memberikan contoh dalam memperkuat kerjasama yang inklusif. Konflik tidak akan menguntungkan siapapun. Ibu, Bapak yang saya hormati, pandemi COVID-19 mengharuskan kita untuk mengubah paradigma hubungan antar bangsa. Pandemi COVID-19 menunjukkan bahwa dunia ini adalah satu desa yang besar, one big village. Pengelolaan desa besar memerlukan satu komitmen bersama para pemimpin dunia untuk terus mengembangkan kerjasama. Collective global leadership is needed. Collective global leadership is urgently needed to exit the pandemic and to resolve our future challenges. Let us work together to make our big village a better place for all. Terima kasih.
下面有请哈萨克斯坦首任总统纳扎尔巴耶夫阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Elbasan Alsatan Nazarbayev, the first President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, for remarks.
Ваше Превосходительство, дамы и господа, прежде всего хотел бы сердечно поприветствовать всех участников сегодняшнего мероприятия и поблагодарить его организаторов за приглашение выступить на форуме. Поволжский азиатский форум, который отмечает свой 20-летний юбилей, за эти годы стал значимой диалоговой площадкой по насущным вопросам развития Азии и всего мира. Пандемия COVID-19 кардинально изменила реальность человечества и обнажила политические, социально-экономические, гуманитарные вызовы. Вместе с тем, нынешний кризис дает нам возможность по-новому взглянуть на мир и сделать несколько важных выводов уже сегодня. Первое. Пандемия показала важную роль государства в сложные времена Благодаря эффективным мерам властей многим странам удалось избежать наиболее негативных сценариев развития ситуации. Второе. Цивилизация получила еще одно подтверждение того, что земной шар является хрупким организмом, и его надо ценить и беречь. Третье. Пандемия должна стать серьезным звонком для того, чтобы все политики мира признали общность своих интересов. Глобализация и процессы международного взаимодействия замедлились, выросло недоверие, которое негативно сказывается на международной экономике и жизни. Мы видим рост протекционистских настроений по всему миру. Происходит внедрение политически мотивированных решений, оказывающих критическое влияние на международные экономические отношения. Нельзя допустить погружение мира в спираль эгоистических односторонних решений. Поэтому я неоднократно вносил предложение главам великих государств или членам Совета Безопасности собраться, чтобы рассмотреть текущее положение вещей, чтобы в виде диалога решить все вопросы, которые волнуют мир. Вместе с тем, международное взаимодействие, глобализация является ключевым фактором развития международной экономики, да и человечества в целом. Нашей главной задачей является поиск моделей, отвечающих нынешней версии мировой реальности. Новые принципы международных соглашений должны быть пронизаны духом взаимодействия равных и ответственных партнеров. Основой должно стать взаимное уважение культурных, социальных и политических традиций, экономических особенностей и ценностей всех сторон. Пандемия наглядно продемонстрировала неизбежность выбора между миром конкуренции и миром сотрудничества. Доступ к вакцинам становится инструментом мягкой гибридной силы, который приносит краткосрочные выгоды отдельным странам, но без глобального контроля над заболеванием успех отдельных стран в будущем не принесет желаемого эффекта. Для человечества важна кооперация производителей вакцин и правительств в решении вопроса массовой вакцинации на планете. Конкуренция и политизация в этом вопросе контрпродуктивны. Нам всем следует понять, что достойно и эффективно ответить на угрозы такого уровня можно только при сотрудничестве и солидарности всей международной семьи наций. Уважаемые участники форума, во время визита в Казахстан в 2013 году друг нашей страны, мой друг, председатель КНР, уважаемый господин Си Цзиньпин, впервые выдвинул идею о новой модели шелкового пути. Для Казахстана эта инициатива стала окном новых возможностей. Через наше государство сегодня проходят кратчайшие пути, соединяющие Азию и Европу, север и юг, Тихий океан с Атлантическим и Индийским океаном. И речь идет об 11 транснациональных маршрутах, 5 железнодорожных, 6 автомобильных, включая автобан Западная Европа, Западный Китай, 2700 километров, железной дороги из Казахстана на Персидский залив, Южную Азию, всю сухопутную инфраструктуру дополняют наши морские порты Актау и Курух на Каспийском море и наш первый терминал, построенный благодаря сотрудничеству с Китайской Народной Республикой в китайском порту Ляньюнган. За последние десятилетия наша страна для осуществления вышесказанных целей потратила свыше 30 миллиардов долларов инвестиций. Все это позволило создать в Казахстане конкурентоспособный транзитный хаб. Теперь через нашу страну товары из любой точки Азии могут достичь городов Северной Европы всего за 2 недели. Благодаря этому даже в кризисный 2020 году рост контейнерных перевозок по направлению Китай-Европа, Китай через Казахстан составил более 60%. Дорогие друзья, за прошедшие годы «Один пояс, один путь» доказал свою жизнеспособность и значимость для продвижения прогрессивных идей сотрудничества и глобализации. И в завершении хотел бы отдельно отметить успехи Китайской Народной Республики в борьбе с пандемией, достижение положительного роста ВВП 2,3% в прошлом году. Это уникальный успех в мире. Знаю, что обеспечив победу в деле построения в стране среднезажиточного общества, Пекин поставил перед собой новые амбициозные цели в рамках реализации 14-й пятилетки. Желаю руководству дружественного Китая и его народу осуществления всех поставленных задач. Участникам форума желаю плодотворной работы. Благодарю всех за внимание.
下面有请大韩民国总统文在寅阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Moon Jae-in, President of the Republic of Korea, for remarks.
존경하는 시진핑 주석님, 반기문 보아오 포럼 이사장님, 리바오동 사무총장님, 세계 각국의 지도자 여러분, 보아 포럼 창립 20주년을 진심으로 축하합니다. 보아오 포럼은 지난 20년 세계의 경제, 사회 문제의 해법을 모색해왔고 아시아 나라들은 보아오 포럼을 통해 서로의 차이를 인정하며 공동의 이익을 추구하는 구동존의의 정신을 실천해왔습니다. 구동존의는 포용과 상생의 길이며 인류 공동의 위기인 코로나를 극복하는 데에도 중요한 가치이자 원칙입니다. 올해 보아오 포럼의 주제인 글로벌 거버넌스 강화 역시 구동존의 정신에서 나왔다고 생각합니다. 보아오 포럼의 성공적인 개최를 뒷받침해 주신 중국 국민들께 감사드리며 포럼 관계자 여러분께도 격려 인사를 전합니다. 세계 지도자 여러분, 그동안 세계는 어느 누구도 배제하지 않는 아시아의 포용 정신에 주목해 왔습니다. 한국 또한 이웃을 먼저 생각하는 배려와 나눔의 정신을 바탕으로 성장할 수 있었습니다. 나는 오늘 세계가 직면한 위기를 극복하고 포용적 회복을 이루기 위한 한국의 책임을 되새기며 아시아의 역할과 글로벌 거버넌스 강화 방안을 말씀드리고자 합니다. 첫째, 포용성이 강화된 다자주의 협력이 되어야 합니다. 코로나로 교역, 투자 환경이 위축되고 자국 우선주의와 보호무역주의가 확산되고 있습니다. 당장에는 자국 경제를 지키는 담이 될 수 있겠지만 결국에는 세계 경제의 회복을 가로막는 장벽이 될 것입니다. 포스트 코로나 시대 공존과 새로운 번영을 위해서는 국제사회의 연대와 협력이 무엇보다 중요합니다. 큰 나라와 작은 나라, 선진국과 개발도상국이 서로를 존중하며 동등하게 협력할 때 인류의 미래도 지속 가능해질 것입니다. 따라서 우리는 포용성을 강화한 다자주의 협력을 새로운 시대로 가는 디딤돌로 삼아야 합니다. 지난해 체결한 RCEP을 통해 영내 경제협력의 속도를 높이고 다자주의에 대한 신뢰 회복과 자유무역 발전이 이루어지길 바랍니다. 둘째, 아시아에서부터 코로나에 공동 대응해야 합니다. 어떤 나라도 혼자만의 힘으로 이웃에 대한 배려 없이 코로나와의 전쟁에서 승리할 수 없습니다. 개발도상국에 대한 백신 기부와 같은 다양한 코로나 지원 활동을 펼치고 있는 중국 정부의 노력을 높이 평가하며 한국도 공평한 백신 공급, 원활한 인력 이동, 과감한 재정 투자 등 코로나 극복을 위한 협력을 더욱 강화해 나갈 것입니다. 지난해 출범한 동북아시아 방역보건협력체를 통해 영내 협력을 내실화하고 아시아가 코로나 극복의 모범을 만들어가길 기대합니다. 셋째, 녹색 회복을 위한 공동행동은 매우 시급한 문제입니다. 기후위기는 세계가 함께 대응해야 합니다. 나라마다 상황에 맞는 실천 방안을 만들고 서로를 보완해가며 동시에 행동해야 합니다. 한국 국민들은 2050 탄소 중립을 실천하고 있으며 그린 뉴딜을 통해 친환경 저탄소 경제로의 대전환을 추진하고 있습니다. 아시아 나라들과도 신생에너지 보급, 해양 오염 대응, 물관리 역량 강화를 비롯한 환경 분야 협력을 더욱 확대하겠습니다. 오는 5월 서울에서 2021 P4G 서울 정상회의가 열립니다. 기후위기를 넘어 지속가능한 미래를 여는 장이 될 수 있도록 아시아 국가들의 많은 관심과 참여를 바랍니다. 넷째, 신기술과 혁신 거버넌스 협력으로 미래를 준비해야 합니다. 코로나로 인해 글로벌 가치 사슬이 재편되고 생산, 공급 시스템의 디지털화가 더욱 빨라지면서 기술 발전과 혁신에 대한 요구가 더욱 커지고 있습니다. 기술 발전과 혁신의 대표적 지표는 특허입니다. 특허 출원 5대국 중 한중 1, 3개국이 포함될 만큼 아시아는 혁신을 이끌어가고 있습니다. 아시아 국가 간 협력이 강화된다면 미래를 선도하고 위기에 대응하는 데에도 중요한 역할을 하게 될 것입니다. 한국은 디지털 분야 ODA를 비롯해 디지털 강국의 경험과 성취를 공유해 나갈 것입니다. 특히 각 나라가 필요한 전문 의료 인력, 제조업, IT 기술 인력 등 맞춤형 인재 양성 지원에 더욱 힘쓰겠습니다. 존경하는 세계 지도자 여러분, 인류는 결국 코로나를 이겨내고 코로나 극복의 힘이 되었던 포용과 상생은 지속 가능한 미래를 여는 가장 유용한 정신이 될 것입니다. 한국은 보아오 포럼 창립국이자 책임 있는 중견국으로서 아시아의 공동 번영을 위해 최선을 다하겠습니다. 오늘 2021 보아오 포럼에서 모인 경륜과 지혜가 인류의 회복과 도약의 디딤돌이 되길 기대합니다. 감사합니다.
下面有请老挝人民民主共和国主席通伦阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Thongloun Sisoulith, President of the Lao People's Democratic Republic, for remarks.
เรียนบรรดาท่านประมุขหลักหัวหน้ารัฐบาลที่เคารพและนับถือท่านลีเป่าตุงเลขาธิการใหญ่เวทีบออาเพื่ออาซีบรรดาท่านผู้ตั้งหน้าองค์การจัดตั้งสากลบรรดาท่านผู้มีเกียรติท่านยิ่งและท่านทรายที่แพงทั้งหลายก่อนอื่นข้าพเจ้าขอแสดงความขอบใจมายังท่านลีเป่าตุงเลขาธิการใหญ่เวทีปรึกษาหรือบออาที่ได้เสื้อเสื้อข้าพเจ้าเข้าร่วมกองประชุมทางไกลในครั้งนี้ข้าพเจ้ารู้สึกเป็นเกียรติอย่างยิ่งที่ได้มีโอกาสมีคำเห็นในพิธีเปิดกองประชุมเวทีปรึกษาหรือบออาเพื่ออาซีประจำปี 2021 ในหัวข้อท่ามกลางการเปลี่ยนแปลงของโลกการร่วมมือเพื่อสร้างความเข้มแข็งให้แก่การบริหารโลกและเพิ่มทวีการร่วมมือภายใต้ข้อนี้เริ่มหนึ่งแล้วหนึ่งเส้นทาง ข้าพเจ้าติดตามอย่างใกล้ชิดขบวนการและพัฒนาการของเวทีปรึกษาหรือบออาเพื่ออาซีตลอดระยะ20 ปีที่ผ่านมาเพราะถือว่าเป็นเวทีที่สำคัญยิ่งในการสร้างโอกาสการเต่าโฮมเอาบรรดาผู้นำนักวางนโยบายนักค้นคว้านักธุรกิจและผู้ตั้งหน้าจากองค์การจัดตั้งสากลสถาบันการศึกษาสื่อมวลชนเพื่อมาปรึกษาหารือถึงทิศทางในการร่วมมือเพื่อสันติภาพและการพัฒนาของภาคพื้นและสากลทั้งซอกหาวิธีแก้ไขปัญหาอุปสรรคและสิ่งท้าทายเพื่อแน่ใช้เพิ่มทวีการร่วมมือที่ดีทั้งมุ่งไปสู่การเชื่อมโยงเศรษฐกิจภาคพื้นและสากลเพื่อส่งเสริมการสร้างคู่ร่วมชะตากรรมเดียวกันของมวลมนุษย์ เนื่องในโอกาสเฉลิมฉลองวันสร้างตั้งเวทีบออาเพื่ออาซีครบรอบ20 ปีข้าพเจ้าขอแสดงความสมเชยมายังอดีตเลขาธิการใหญ่เวทีปรึกษาหรือบออาคนที่ผ่านมาโดยเฉพาะท่านเลขาธิการใหญ่คนปัจจุบันพร้อมโดยคณะที่ได้ทุ่มเทสร้างเวทีแห่งนี้ และพัฒนาให้เวทีแห่งนี้นับมือนับโดดเด่นตลอดระยะ20 ปีที่ผ่านมาพระท่านนิ่งและท่านทรายข้าพเจ้าขอแสดงความสมเชยมายังเลขาธิการใหญ่และบรรดาเพื่อนร่วมงานของเพิ่นที่ได้วางหัวข้อของการสนทนาในครั้งนี้ซึ่งแท้เหมาะกับสถานการณ์ปัจจุบันอย่างแท้จริงและได้เกี่ยมการจัดกองประชุมครั้งนี้อย่างรอบคอบและดีเลิศประธานที่มีเกียรตินับแต่ประธานสีจิ้งผิงได้เสนอขอริเริ่ม1แล้ว1เส้นทางขึ้นนับแต่ปี 2013 เป็นต้นมาได้เฮ็ดให้โลกตอบรับอย่างเป็นอย่างดีและผ่านการดำเนินการจัดตั้งปฏิบัติก็ได้รับผลสำเร็จที่สำคัญอันเป็นที่ประจักษ์ตาหลายสิ่งหลายอย่างอย่างต่อเนื่องได้ประกอบส่วนสำคัญเข้าในการเสริมโยงภาคพื้นและสากลก็คือได้นำเอาผลประโยชน์มาสู่บรรดาประเทศที่เข้าร่วมขอริเริ่มดังกล่าวอย่างเป็นรูปธรรมโดยเฉพาะประเทศที่บ่มีชายแดนติดจอดกับทะเลคือสปป.ลาวยิ่งมีความสำคัญเป็นพิเศษสปป.ลาวให้การสนับสนุนขอริเริ่ม1แล้ว1เส้นทางอย่างตั้งหน้าตั้งแต่ต้นมาเนื่องจากขอริเริ่มดังกล่าวสอดคล้องกับบรรดายุทธศาสตร์การพัฒนาของประเทศตนโดยเฉพาะแม่นการพัฒนาพื้นฐานโครงลางด้านคมนาคมขนส่งที่แน่ใส่หันเปลี่ยนสปป.ลาวจากประเทศที่บ่มีชายแดนติดจอดกับทะเลให้เป็นประเทศเสื่อมโยงเสื่อมจอดในภาคพื้นหนึ่งในบรรดาโครงการสำคัญภายใต้หัวข้อขอริเริ่ม1แล้ว1เส้นทางที่กำลังจัดตั้งได้รับการจัดตั้งปฏิบัติก็แม่นโครงการก่อสร้างเส้นทางรถไฟลาวจีนซึ่งคาดว่าจะสำเร็จและเปิดนำใช้ในท้ายปี 2021 นี้เส้นทางรถไฟลาวจีนจะเชื่อมต่อระหว่างนครคุนหมิงสป.จีนหานครหลวงเวียงจันทน์ของสป.ลาวและคาดว่าจะเชื่อมต่อสปป.ลาวกับประเทศไทยต่อลงไปหามาเลเซียและสิงคโปร์ฉะนั้นภายหลังการสร้างทางรถไฟลาวจีนสำเร็จบวกกับโครงการพัฒนาพื้นฐานโครงสร้างอื่นๆที่มีการร่วมมือกับประเทศเพื่อนมิตรผู้ร่วมพัฒนาในสปป.ลาวจะช่วยให้สปป.ลาวข้ามผ่านข้อจำกัดทางด้านที่ตั้งภูมิสันฐานหมายว่าสปป.ลาวจะสามารถเชื่อมจอดกับบรรดาประเทศภาคพื้นสะดวกหลายขึ้นกว่าเก่าส่งเสริมการค้าการลงทุนในการท่องเที่ยวสร้างวิกฤตงานทำให้หลายขึ้นซึ่งจะประกอบส่วนเขาในการสร้างประชาคมเศรษฐกิจอาเซียนและการนำเอาความสมบูรณ์ผลสุขมาสู่ประเทศในภาคพื้นและสากลท่านยิ่งและท่านทรายที่ฮักแพงทั้งหลายประชาคมโลกกำลังเผชิญกับสิ่งท้าทายอันใหญ่หลวงนั่นก็คือการแพร่ระบาดของพยาธิโควิด -19 ซึ่งบ่เพียงแต่เป็นวิกฤตการณ์ทางด้านสาธารณสุขของโลกเท่านั้นแต่มันยังได้ส่งผลกระทบที่รุนแรงต่อการพัฒนาเศรษฐกิจสังคมในทุกประเทศในโลกฉะนั้นมันจึงเรียกร้องให้ทุกประเทศในโลกต้องสามัคคีและร่วมแรงร่วมใจกันต่อสู้กับพยาธิดังกล่าวในระยะกว่า1 ปีที่ผ่านมาบรรดาประเทศต่างๆในโลกต้องได้ปฏิบัติบรรดามาตรการสกัดกั้นอย่างเข้มงวดเพื่อลดพรการแพร่ระบาดโดยการปิดประเทศเป็นบางส่วนและเต็มรูปแบบรวมทั้งการยกการเดินทางถึงจะได้ก็ตามเฮายังต้องร่วมแรงร่วมใจกันเพื่อเอาชนะกับโควิด -19 ให้ได้เพื่อป้องกันความเสี่ยงต่อโลกโดยเฉพาะต่อภาคพื้นอาเซียนของพวกเขาถือว่ายาวัคซีนแม้นมีบทบาทสำคัญที่สุดเพื่อป้องกันโควิด -19 ในขอบเขตทั่วโลกทั้งป้องกันชีวิตของมนุษย์และลดพรผลกระทบอย่างร้ายแรงต่อเศรษฐกิจสังคมแต่ถึงแม้ว่าวัคซีนได้ผลิตออกมาและมีการแจกจ่ายไปสู่หลายประเทศในโลกแล้วก็ตามเคียงคู่กับการสักยาวัคซีนแล้วพวกเขายังต้องได้คำนึงถึงการนำใช้มาตรการป้องกันและปิ่นปัวผู้ติดเชื้ออย่างบ่ลดละและเข้มงวดทั้งต้องได้ปรับตัวให้เข้ากับสภาพการดำรงชีวิตแบบใหม่อีกด้วย สิ่งสำคัญอีกอันหนึ่งข้าพเจ้าคิดว่าเคียงคู่กับการแจกจ่ายวัคซีนไปในทุกประเทศในโลกนี้ การร่วมมือกันโดยการสร้างความไว้เนื้อเชื่อใจซึ่งกันและกันอย่างสร้างสรรค์เพื่อมีมาตรการร่วมกันแม้นมีความสำคัญและมีความจำเป็นเพื่อเอาชนะกับโควิด -19 แน่ใส่เฮ็ดให้ระบบเศรษฐกิจโลกสามารถฟื้นฟูคืนสู่สภาพปกติโดยไวได้ทั้งเป็นการสร้างตองโสขึ้นใหม่ของการตอบสนองของภาคพื้นและสากลที่ได้รับผลกระทบจากการแพร่ระบาดของพยาธิโควิด -19 ข้าพเจ้าขอถือโอกาสนี้ขอแสดงความขอบใจอย่างจริงใจมายังบรรดาประเทศเพื่อนมิตรเป็นต้นเหมือนสป.จีนรัสเซียและประเทศเพื่อนมิตรอื่นๆรวมทั้งองค์การจัดตั้งสากลที่ได้ให้การสนับสนุนด้านวัคซีนให้แก่สปป.ลาวผ่านขอบการร่วมมือ2ฝ่ายและหลายฝ่ายได้หวังอย่างยิ่งว่าจะได้รับการสนับสนุนได้ช่วยเหลือต่อไปอีกด้วยท่านที่มีเกียรติท่านยิ่งและท่านทรายที่แบ่งทั้งหลายพวกเฮาได้เห็นอย่างจ้าแจ้งตื่มอีกว่าเทคโนโลยีข้อมูลข่าวสารเป็นเครื่องมือหนึ่งที่สำคัญที่ช่วยให้พวกเฮาสามารถสืบต่อประสานงานได้อย่างว่องไวชัดเจนและช่วยให้เศรษฐกิจสามารถสืบต่อดำเนินได้อย่างมีประสิทธิผลโดยเฉพาะในเศรษฐกิจดิจิทัลดังนั้นจึงมีความจำเป็นที่จะต้องลงทุนเพิ่มเติมใส่การพัฒนาพื้นฐานโครงหลัง ICT โดยเฉพาะแม้นบรรดาประเทศที่กำลังพัฒนาจึงจะช่วยเพิ่มทวีการเสริมโยงการกระตุ้นเศรษฐกิจการขยายตัวเนื่องจากเทคโนโลยีเหล่านี้จะช่วยให้บรรดาหัวหน่วยเศรษฐกิจหัวหน่วยธุรกิจสามารถสืบต่อดำเนินกิจการและยังเป็นการสร้างอาชีพใหม่อีกด้วยฉะนั้นการบรรลุเป้าหมายพัฒนาแบบยืนยงในปี 2030 ขององค์การสหประชาชาติก็จะมีความเป็นไปได้สูงอีกด้วยพนักทานที่เคารพท่านยิ่งและท่านทรายที่นับถือถึงว่าในเฉพาะหน้านี้บนเส้นทางแห่งการพัฒนาที่เข้มแข็งร่วมกันของโลกพวกเราโดยเฉพาะทวีปอาเซียนของพวกเราจะมีอุปสรรคปันใดก็ตามแต่นโยบายก็คือเส้นทางแห่งความเป็นโลกาภิวัตน์การเปิดกว้างและการเปิดใจอย่างจริงใจแน่ใสสารโลกให้กลับเข้าสู่การช่วยเหลือเกื้อกูลกันร่วมกันแก้ไขอุปสรรคต่างๆที่จะเกิดขึ้นและได้เกิดขึ้นและจะเกิดขึ้นด้วยความพยายามของกันอย่างแท้จริงนั้นจะนำไปสู่อนาคตแห่งการพัวพันที่ดีที่ไว้เนื้อเชื่อใจกันต่างฝ่ายต่างได้รับผลประโยชน์นั้นจะช่วยให้โลกเฮาเป็นโลกที่สวยงามและส่งเสริมให้แก่การสร้างโลกให้เป็นคู่ร่วมสัตกรรมที่แท้จริงสุดท้ายนี้ข้าพเจ้าขออวยพรให้กองประชุมเวทีปรึกษาหรือBOAเพื่ออาเซียนประจำปี 2021 นี้จงประสบผลสำเร็จอย่างจบงามขอขอบใจ
下面请新加坡共和国总统哈利玛阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Halima Yacob, President of Republic of Singapore, for remarks.
Your Excellency President Xi Jinping, Vice President Wang Qishan, fellow leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to join you at this year's annual conference as the Baoa Forum for Asia celebrates its 20th anniversary. This year's conference focuses on strengthening global governance amid a world in flux, which is both timely and pressing. For over a year now, the world has been contending with COVID-19. In addition to the loss of lives and livelihoods, the pandemic has exacerbated ongoing challenges to globalization and the multilateral order. There has been stronger pushback against free trade, increased bifurcation of technology, disruptions to global supply chains, and rising socio-economic inequality. Tensions on the global stage have also been brought to the fore. But every dark cloud has a silver lining. Although this journey has been difficult, the pandemic has also catalyzed opportunities for growth. One instance is the acceleration of digitalization efforts of many countries, advancing the ongoing digital revolution. Above all, COVID-19 has given the world a common cause to band together. International cooperation is crucial in surmounting this crisis. Exchanges have continued, with the world adapting to hybrid modes of engagement. Countries have worked together to restore supply chain connectivity and further advance free trade. Singapore and our partners issued a joint ministerial statement to maintain supply chain connectivity amid the pandemic. The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, the world's largest free trade agreement, was signed between ASEAN member states, Australia, China, Japan, the Republic of Korea, and New Zealand last November. Singapore ratified the RCEP on 9th April and is the first country to do so. Over the past year, the international community has developed unprecedented and innovative forms of multilateral cooperation, including the establishment of the WHO-led Access to COVID-19 Tools Accelerator and the COVID-19 Global Vaccines Access or COVAX facility. Singapore was an early supporter of the COVAX facility and has contributed to the COVAX Advanced Market Commitment, which supports low and lower middle income countries access to COVID-19 vaccines. More can be done to achieve better global governance and stronger international cooperation. Another example is the safe reopening of borders, a necessary condition for the recovery of the global economy. Even as bilateral efforts in this regard are underway, we should consider how multilateral institutions, including the WHO, can play a role in setting robust standards and providing a science-based framework to guide the safe reopening of borders. The COVID-19 pandemic is a defining challenge of our time, but it will not be the last. Long-term transboundary threats remain, including climate change and terrorism. I hope that the international community will be able to learn the lesson that this pandemic has given us, that global governance is ultimately in our common interest, and come to a renewed consensus on the advancement of an open, inclusive, and rules-based multilateral system that is fit for purpose in a post-COVID-19 world. This will put us in good stead to tackle the challenges ahead and forge a brighter future for our people. Thank you.
下面请斯里兰卡民主社会主义共和国总统戈塔巴雅阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa, President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, for remarks.
Excellencies, Chairman, Board Members and Secretary General of the Baoa Forum, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, friends. I am delighted to participate at the opening plenary of this year's Baoa Forum for Asia. At the outset, I wish to congratulate the Baoa Forum for completing 2 decades of excellent work to bring countries together. I also take this opportunity to recognize the central role played by the People's Republic of China in the Baoa Forum for Asia. Through centuries of rich history, Sri Lanka and China share a strong strategic collaborative partnership based on mutual respect, trust and cooperation. I appreciate the support rendered by His Excellency Xi Jinping and the Government of China to Sri Lanka in vital areas of Sri Lanka's well-being. Sri Lanka maintains a clear and vibrant foreign policy that seeks enhanced cooperation with all friendly nations, and in particular its Asian neighbors, on equal and non-aligned terms. These principles are enshrined in our development policy framework, Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor. I am therefore appreciative of the theme of this year's conference, which recognizes the importance of strengthening global governance and international cooperation. It is essential that we strive towards a more equitable and respectful foundation for international relations. We know that developing countries, irrespective of their contribution to the world economy, have to abide by myriad rules, regulations, and governance structures, and yet cannot access the global rules formulation process. This is a regrettable situation. Maintaining a fair balance between national policies and international shared policies, norms, and rules is essential. The sovereignty of independent states should in no way be undermined in the maintaining of this balance. Sri Lanka is a peaceful, politically stable state that has taken multiple steps to enhance domestic governance to meet its goals under its development framework. 10 policy areas have been identified to deliver the fourfold outcome of a productive citizenry, a happy family, a disciplined society, and a prosperous nation. We have well thought out plans to lift low-income families out of poverty, improve rural infrastructure, enrich the quality of our education to meet future needs, and to enhance use of technology to improve efficacy throughout the nation. We have ambitious plans to revive and strengthen our economy significantly in the coming years. We seek the contribution of our international partners to aid this process. We do not seek to borrow, but to encourage investments. We have developed attractive policies for foreign direct investments, including a favorable tax structure and other incentives. We seek the support of the governments of member countries of the Baoa Forum to encourage more businesses from their countries to consider Sri Lanka as a destination for their investments. We particularly seek to attract investment in export-oriented industries that will have a beneficial impact on our economy. In concluding my remarks, I affirm Sri Lanka's commitment as a founding member of the Baoa Forum to its guiding principles and its purpose. I trust that the BFA Annual Conference 2021 will make a beneficial contribution at this globally challenging time to countries within the region and between the region and other parts of the world. Thank you.
下面请越南社会主义共和国主席阮春福阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Nguyen Xuan Phu, President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, for remarks.
Thưa hội nghị, tôi vui mừng phát biểu tại lễ khai mạc Diễn đàn Châu Á Bắc Ngao nhân kỷ niệm 20 năm thành lập. Là một trong những thành viên sáng lập của diễn đàn, Việt Nam vui mừng trước những thành tựu mà diễn đàn đã đạt được trong 20 năm qua và mong muốn diễn đàn tiếp tục thúc đẩy thảo luận sâu sắc giữa chính khách, học giả, doanh nghiệp các nước về những vấn đề quan trọng vì hòa bình, ổn định, thịnh vượng và phát triển của khu vực. Tôi cũng đánh giá cao chủ đề của diễn đàn năm nay khi chúng ta đang đứng trước một thế giới thay đổi nhanh chóng với những thách thức khó khăn chưa từng có, thiên tai, biến đổi khí hậu khắc nghiệt, đại dịch Covid-19 diễn biến phức tạp, tác động tiêu cực đến mọi mặt của đời sống, kinh tế, xã hội, đe dọa đảo ngược những tiến bộ, sau đó giảm nghèo và tước đi nguồn lực cần thiết việc thực hiện các mục tiêu phát triển bền vững 2030 của Liên Hiệp Quốc. Trong bối cảnh đó, không quốc gia nào dù lớn hay nhỏ có thể đơn độc giải quyết những thách thức đa chiều này. Chỉ có hợp tác và đoàn kết mới đem lại thành công. Thưa quý vị, thế giới sẽ vượt qua những thách thức nghiêm trọng này ra sao phụ thuộc rất nhiều vào hành động của chúng ta hôm nay. Điều quan trọng là chúng ta cùng chung tay hành động vì sự phát triển bao trùm, bền vững và an toàn cho mọi người dân. Để làm được điều này, tôi xin nhấn mạnh 4 vấn đề mà chúng ta cần đặc biệt quan tâm trong thời gian tới. Một là đẩy mạnh hợp tác trong kiểm soát và ngăn chặn dịch bệnh, nâng cao năng lực hệ thống y tế công và bảo đảm các quốc gia đều có cơ hội tiếp cận vaccine với chi phí hợp lý. Hai là giữ vững ổn định kinh tế vĩ mô, tạo thuận lợi thương mại và đầu tư, giải quyết các trở ngại, các rào cản trong thương mại quốc tế, bảo đảm hoạt động của các chuỗi cung ứng, thúc đẩy sản xuất, tạo việc làm, tăng sức chống chịu của nền kinh tế trước những cú sốc tương tự có thể xảy ra trong tương lai. Ba là huy động nguồn lực cần thiết cho phát triển kinh tế bền vững và bao trùm, thực hiện các mục tiêu phát triển bền vững 2030 của Liên Hợp Quốc, đặc biệt về ứng phó biến đổi khí hậu, năng lượng sạch, quản lý bền vững tài nguyên thiên nhiên, giáo dục. 4 là xây dựng cơ sở hạ tầng đồng bộ và phát triển nguồn nhân lực cho chuyển đổi số trong xu thế phát triển mới, không để ai tụt lại phía sau. Theo đó, chúng tôi hoan nghênh những nỗ lực thúc đẩy kết nối khu vực, liên kết kinh tế trong khuôn khổ sáng kiến vành đai con đường và mong rằng sáng kiến sẽ đóng góp tích cực cho quá trình phục hồi kinh tế thế giới sau đại dịch. Hai nước Việt Nam và Trung Quốc đang tích cực xây dựng kế hoạch chung để triển khai hiệu quả bản ghi nhớ về kết nối giữa sáng kiến vành đai và con đường với chương trình hợp tác hai hành lang một vành đai của Việt Nam. Việt Nam và Trung Quốc là hai quốc gia có quan hệ láng giềng, truyền thống gần gũi, núi sông liền một dải, đã cùng hợp tác ngăn chặn tốt sự lây lan của dịch Covid-19, duy trì tăng trưởng kinh tế và đã trở thành những điểm sáng ở khu vực và trên thế giới. Bước vào thập kỷ mới, Việt Nam chân thành mong muốn tăng cường hợp tác toàn diện, hiệu quả, bình đẳng cùng có lợi với Trung Quốc trên các lĩnh vực, cùng nhau vượt qua đại dịch Covid-19, giữ vững môi trường hòa bình, ổn định, vun đắp quan hệ hữu nghị, hợp tác Việt Trung ngày càng phát triển mạnh mẽ. Thưa quý vị, những quyết sách của ngày hôm nay sẽ định hình thế giới ngày mai. Tôi trông đợi diễn đàn sẽ mang đến nhiều đề xuất và ý tưởng mới nhằm thúc đẩy hợp tác khu vực, phát huy tốt nhất tiềm năng và lợi thế của mỗi quốc gia và để châu Á tiếp tục là một trung tâm phát triển năng động của kinh tế toàn cầu. Tôi xin chúc diễn đàn châu Á Bát Ngao 2021 thành công tốt đẹp. Chúc quý vị sức khỏe, hạnh phúc. Xin trân trọng cảm ơn.
下面请孟加拉人民共和国总理哈希纳阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister of People's Republic of Bangladesh, for remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable heads of state and government, President of the UN General Assembly, President of the IMF, Secretary General of the Baoa Forum for Asia, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. I am delighted to join the opening plenary of the Baoa Forum for Asia. I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the Baoa Forum for organizing this conference. Excellencies, the COVID-19 pandemic has brought us at a crossroad of human history, confronting possibly the gravest global challenge of our times. The socio-economic impacts of the pandemic are massive and are still unfolding. It is therefore extremely important to strengthen the global and regional partnerships through coordinated efforts to address these challenges. Bangladesh has been trying to mitigate the adverse impacts of the pandemic through balanced measures between life and livelihood. We have so far announced various stimulus packages worth $14.6 billion, around 4.4% of our GDP, for social protection and boosting economy. The pandemic highlights the crucial role of global governance to ensure that no one is left behind, even during a crisis. Bangladesh believes in the primacy of the global institutions. All nations need to work together to make the UN and other international organizations effective so that everyone's requirement of vaccines and medical requirements are met. WHO, Gavi and other relevant organizations must uphold the rights of member states and ensure equity and justice. We strongly believe that COVID-19 vaccines should be declared as global public goods. Countries producing the vaccines should help others produce the vaccine with a view to attaining universal vaccine coverage. At these critical times, financial and technical supports to developing countries have also become more important. Developing countries need more access to the funds of the international financial institutions and the multinational development banks. Bangladesh is engaged in different regional connectivity initiatives through SAARC, BIMSTEC, SASEC, BBIN and BCIM. Bangladesh is uniquely placed to connect the regions of South Asia, Southeast Asia, East Asia and beyond through multimodal linkage and believes that BRI could play an important role in this regard. Excellencies, this continent has the advantage of huge demographic dividend, vast markets in the technological age. If we join hands together, we can grow faster. This will also help us achieve the SDGs that we all committed to fulfill. We need to maximize the technological potentials of the 4IR by extending hands each other. Bangladesh has created a remarkable structure for facing the future challenge through establishing high-tech parks, broadband and satellite connectivity. Most importantly, we have been preparing our young people for innovation, not just for imitation. Hence, together, we also have to tap each other's advantages as well as overcome various challenges that come with it, including cyber crimes. Timely measures can help us realize the possibilities of the ASEAN century. Excellencies, Bangladesh is one of the most climate vulnerable countries. Despite our resource scarcity, we have established a climate change trust fund of about $450 million from our own resources. We have been implementing various adaptation and mitigation programs to offset the adverse impacts of climate change. Our Parliament in November 2019 adopted a motion declaring planetary emergency to deal with climate change issues. As part of celebrations of the birth centenary of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, we are planting 30 million trees across the country. We have also adopted the Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan, which would help mobilize resources for a better and secured future. Bangladesh is the current president of the Climate Vulnerable Forum, CBF. We are also hosting the South Asian Regional Office of Global Center for Adaptation. The center will work on disseminating local-based innovative adaptation strategies. Excellencies, I would like to end by recapping 3 points. First, we need strong partnership among us to address the challenges posed by the pandemic and to make vaccines available to everyone by declaring it as global public goods. Second, we need to work together for harnessing the power of technology, as we all realize the future will be driven by the 4IR, which come with opportunities and challenges. And third, seamless physical and digital connectivity will be the key to reap the benefits of the ASEAN century. Excellencies, under the current state of globalization, every country has to do its part for common good. The nations and economies will have to look out for each other, as no single country in this world can sustain on its own. Let's think together, work together, grow together. Thank you all.
下面有请柬埔寨王国首相洪森阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Hun Sen, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, for remarks.
ដំលីបតុងអគ្គលេខាធិការនៃវេទិកាបូអាសម្រាប់អាស៊ីអាយដាមលោកជំទាវថ្នាក់ដឹកនាំប្រទេសទាំងអស់អាយដាមលោកជំទាវលោកស្រីថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំមានសេចក្តីរីករាយជាណែកដែលបានចូលរួមថ្លែងសន្ទរកថានៅក្នុងវេទិកាពិធីបើកវេទិកាបូអាសម្រាប់អាស៊ីក្រោមប្រធានបទពិភពលោកក្នុងការផ្លាស់ប្ដូររួមដៃគ្នាដើម្បីពង្រឹងអភិបាលកិច្ចសកលនិងលើកកម្ពស់កិច្ចសហប្រតិបត្តិការខ្សែក្រវ៉ាត់និងផ្លូវខ្ញុំក៏សូមអបអរសាទរចំពោះខួបគម្រប់20ឆ្នាំនៃការបង្កើតវេទិកាដែលកន្លងមកបានចូលរួមចំណែកយ៉ាងសំខាន់ក្នុងការជំរុញកិច្ចសហប្រតិបត្តិការនយោបាយសេដ្ឋកិច្ចសង្គមវប្បធម៌និងបរិស្ថានបច្ចុប្បន្នជំងឺ COVID-19 បានបន្តគំរាមកំហែងយ៉ាងធ្ងន់ធ្ងរដល់សុខភាពសាធារណៈសកលនិងការអភិវឌ្ឍជារួមក្នុងបរិយាកាសនេះគ្មានប្រទេសណាមួយមានសុវត្ថិភាពនោះទេដរាបណាប្រទេសទាំងអស់មិនមានសុវត្ថិភាពក្នុងន័យនេះកម្ពុជាសូមវាយតម្លៃខ្ពស់ចំពោះការយកចិត្តទុកដាក់និងការបដិញ្ញាចិត្តរបស់ប្រទេសចិនក្នុងការអនុវត្តផ្លូវសូត្រសុខភាពក្រោមគំនិតពើប្រាំខ្សែក្រវ៉ាត់និងផ្លូវនិងទួនាទីឈានមុខក្នុងការផ្ដល់នៅថ្នាំពេទ្យគ្រឿងបរិក្ខារវិទ្យាសាស្ត្រនិងវ៉ាក់សាំងការពារ COVID-19 តាន់ពេលវេលាទៅកាន់ប្រទេសជាច្រើនដែលនេះជាសក្ខីភាពមួយយ៉ាងបញ្ជាក់អំពីភាពដឹកនាំសកលរបស់ប្រទេសចិនឆ្លៀតក្នុងឱកាសនេះតាំងនាមឲ្យរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលនិងប្រជាជនកម្ពុជាខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណយ៉ាងជ្រាលជ្រៅបំផុតចំពោះរដ្ឋាភិបាលនិងប្រជាជនចិនដែលបានផ្ដល់ថ្នាំពេទ្យគ្រឿងបរិក្ខារវិទ្យាសាស្ត្រក៏ដូចជាវ៉ាក់សាំងការពារជំងឺ COVID-19 ចំនួន 2.8 លានដូសដល់កម្ពុជាដែលក្នុងនោះមាន 1.3 លានដូសជាចំនួនមនុស្សធម៌ ឯកឧត្តមលោកជំទាវអរលោកលោកស្រីក្រៅពីជំងឺរាតត្បាត COVID-19 ពិភពលោកកំពុងប្រឈមនឹងបញ្ហាជាច្រើនទៀតដែលបណ្ដាលមកពីភាពតានតឹងនៃការប្រកួតប្រជែងភូមិសាស្ត្រនយោបាយរវាងប្រទេសមហាអំណាចស្របពេលជាមួយនឹងការងើបឡើងនៃប្រទេសមហាអំណាចកណ្ដាលដែលបានបោះជំហានយ៉ាងលឿននៅលើឆាកនយោបាយក្នុងតំបន់ក្នុងកាលៈទេសៈដ៏សំខាន់នេះខ្ញុំយល់ឃើញថាពិភពលោកពិតជាត្រូវការអភិបាលកិច្ចសកលមួយដែលគាំទ្រពហុភាគីនិយមនិងគោរពច្បាប់អន្តរជាតិនិងអធិបតេយ្យភាពរបស់ប្រទេសនីមួយៗដែលមិនគិតពីទំហំឬធនធានដោយមានអង្គការសហប្រជាជាតិជាស្នូលកម្ពុជាទទួលស្គាល់នូវតួនាទីស្នូលនៃពហុភាគីនិយមក្នុងការដោះស្រាយបញ្ហាប្រឈមពិភពលោកដែលមានភាពស្មុគស្មាញនិងអន្តរទំនាក់ទំនងក្នុងបរិយាកាសនេះប្រទេសនីមួយៗគួរតែដើរតួនាទីកាន់តែសកម្មនៅក្នុងអភិបាលកិច្ចសកលដោយភាពបត់បែនស្ថាបនានិងអរិយាប័ត្រទទួលខុសត្រូវប្រទេសរបស់ខ្ញុំក្នុងនាមជាប្រធាននៃកិច្ចប្រជុំកំពូលអាស៊ីអឺរ៉ុបលើកទី13បានជ្រើសរើសយកមូលបត្រពង្រឹងពហុភាគីនិយមដើម្បីកំណើនរួមគ្នាដើម្បីបង្ហាញអំពីការប្រាជ្ញាចិត្តរបស់ដៃគូអាស៊ីអឺរ៉ុបទាំងអស់ដែលមិនត្រឹមតែជំរុញភាពជាដៃគូអាស៊ានសម្រាប់ផលប្រយោជន៍ទៅវិញទៅមកប្រទេសប៉ុន្តែថែមទាំងលើកកម្ពស់អភិបាលកិច្ចសកលសម្រាប់ពង្រឹងប្រព័ន្ធពហុភាគីនិយមប្រយុទ្ធប្រឆាំងនឹងការប្រែប្រួលអាកាសធាតុនិងស្ដារសេដ្ឋកិច្ចឡើងវិញបន្ទាប់ពីវិបត្តិ COVID-19 លើសពីនេះទៀតខ្ញុំមានចក្ខុវិស័យអំពីការពង្រឹងបន្ថែមទៀតនៅកម្រិតព្រួយប្រាមខ្សែក្រវ៉ាត់និងផ្លូវដែលមានសមត្ថភាពក្នុងការនាំមកនូវសាមគ្គីភាពក្នុងចំណោមប្រទេសទាំងអស់ដែលចូលរួមចំណែកដល់ដំណើរការស្ដារឡើងវិញសន្ទុះវិជ្ជមានដែលសម្រេចបានក្រោមកម្រិតព្រួយប្រាមខ្សែក្រវ៉ាត់និងផ្លូវចាប់តាំងពីការបង្កើតមកបានរួមចំណែកដល់ការជំរុញកិច្ចសហប្រតិបត្តិការក្នុងតំបន់និងពិភពលោកលើហេដ្ឋារចនាសម្ព័ន្ធរឹងនិងទន់សេដ្ឋកិច្ចពាណិជ្ជកម្មកាលានុវត្តភាពវិនិយោគការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរវប្បធម៌និងការតបជាប់រវាងប្រជាជននិងប្រជាជនខណៈពេលនៃការធ្លាក់ចុះសេដ្ឋកិច្ចនេះកំណត់ព្រួយប្រាមខ្សែក្រវ៉ាត់នៅផ្លូវនៅតែជាកម្លាំងជំរុញដើម្បីបន្តពង្រីកកិច្ចសហប្រតិបត្តិការក្នុងចំណោមប្រទេសនៅក្នុងតំបន់និងពិភពលោកសម្រាប់បុព្វហេតុសន្តិភាពសន្តិសុខវិបុលភាពនិងការអភិវឌ្ឍប្រកបដោយចីរភាពជាទីបញ្ចប់ខ្ញុំសូមប្រសិទ្ធពរឲ្យសន្និសីទប្រចាំឆ្នាំ2021នេះទទួលបានជោគជ័យដល់ត្រចះចប់សូមអរគុណ
下面请马耳他共和国总理罗伯特·阿贝拉阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Robert Abela, Prime Minister of the Republic of Malta, for remarks.
Excellencies, esteemed participants, it is truly a pleasure for me to address you at the opening of this prestigious event as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Baoa Forum. I welcome this year's overarching theme, which reflects our collective commitment towards the building of a healthy global community. The COVID-19 pandemic has proven that economy and health challenges have no borders. More than ever before, stronger cooperation among all international actors is needed to ably respond to unprecedented global challenges in a structured and coordinated manner. The achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals should serve as our compass, based on the concept of mutual solidarity. This demonstrates further the strong need for closer economic integration between Asia and Europe. In 2020, around 20% of Malta's trade in goods was conducted with the Asian continent, which is a substantial figure in itself. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, trade between Malta and Asian nations increased by 5% in 2020 when compared to the previous year, indicating the growing importance of the Asian market for our country. And ties between Europe and Asia continue to grow at a steady pace. The Belt and Road Initiative, of which Malta was one of the first co-signatories, is playing a pivotal role in achieving this goal. And my government sees major opportunities in this context, particularly for the creation of jobs and economic growth. These go hand in hand with opportunities to work to promote global public goods, sustainable development, and international security, and to address global and regional challenges within the multilateral system. Furthermore, investment in research and innovation is essential so that we may have the tools that will be necessary for us to weather any future crisis that may come our way. Therefore, it is imperative that the vital role of the Asia-Pacific region in the global economy is not underestimated. This region is rapidly becoming a larger player in the global economy with immense potential. Regional cooperation in the political, economic, or social fora is an important means for creating new trade, investment, and employment opportunities, enhancing economic security, and addressing broader socio-economic and environmental issues. We can only emerge victorious through regional cooperation, discussion, and unity. Multilateralism remains a key component and a constant characteristic of Malta's foreign policy. The current COVID-19 pandemic and the looming climate change crisis should serve as a rallying call to set aside our divisions and to join forces to establish a peaceful and prosperous global environment. We must not turn back the clock in terms of multilateralism and international cooperation. Every effort must be made to ensure that international organizations, such as the World Trade Organization, are reformed in a manner that gives them the necessary tools to adapt to a global context that is in continuous flux. Finding the right balance when embarking on this reform process is a significant challenge, but it is a duty that we must discharge with the utmost resolve in order to support the multilateral process. From a bilateral point of view, Malta welcomes and continues to nurture the long-standing relations with the People's Republic of China, which have reaped rewarding progress for both countries in the political, economic, and cultural fields. These warm relations, which started 50 years ago, have witnessed a crescendo in mutual awareness and respect between the two countries, which have opted to build, over the years, a framework of cooperation that sustains a close relationship between our two peoples. I therefore wish you all the very best for this event, which will undoubtedly generate positive ideas while creating the proverbial domino effect to encourage enhanced collaboration in creating a better future for Asia and the world. Global challenges require a global response and a clear recovery plan. This is why our partnership remains our main tool to address today's challenging times against the backdrop of the current realities in order to restore growth, create sustainable jobs, and achieve environmental and climate goals.
下面有请蒙古国总理奥云额尔登阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Lusanamrain Oyun Adem, Prime Minister of Mongolia, for remarks.
Бүгд найрамд Хятад улсын дарга Хэмсэг ноён Си Жинпин, Азийн төлөөх Боагийн чуулга уулзалтын дарга Бан Ки Мун, төлөөлөгчдийн тэргүүн нараа Хэмсэг хатагтай ноёдоо. Та бүхэнд Азийн төлөөх Боагийн чуулга уулзалт үүсгэн байгуулагдсны 20 жилийн он баярын мэндийг дэвшүүлье. Монгол Улсын засгийн газрыг төлөөлж миний бие өөрчлөгдөж буй дэлхийн ертөнц, дэлхийн засаглалыг бэхжүүлж бүс ба зам хамтын ажиллагааг үндэрлүүлэхэд хамтдаа оролцох сэдвийн дор өнгөрсөн 20 жилийн олд амжилтаа дүгнэж цаашдын хамтын ажиллагааны зүг чигийг тодорхойлох түүхтэн уулзалтын нээлтийн арга хэмжээнд оролцож байгаадаа баяртай байна. Монгол улс тус чуулга уулзалтын үүсгэн байгуулагчдын нэгний хувьд Боагийн чуулга уулзалт бүс нутгийн эдийн засгийн тогтвортой хөгжлийг хангахад талуудын хамтын ажиллагаа, хүчин чармайлтыг чиглүүлэхийн чухлыг онцлон тэмдэглэдэгт талархаж сэтгэл өндөр байгаагаа илэрхийлж байна. 21-р зуунд Азийн эрен, дэлхийн эдийн засаг, улс төрийн тавцанд эзлэх үүрэг оролцоо нэмэгдэж, шин давталгаа хэдийнэ эхэлжээ. Бүгд найрамд Хятад улс өнгөрсөн 40 жилийн хугацаанд нийт 770 сая гаруй хүнийг ядуурлаас гаргаж, дэлхийн ядуурлын түвшинг 70%-аар бууруулан, нэгдсэн үндэсний байгууллагын доктортой хөгжлийн зорилго 2030-д тодорхойлон зорилтод 10 жилийн өмнө хүрсэн тухай мэдгдсэнд чин сэтгэлийн баяр дэвшүүлье. Хүн төрөлхтний хөгжлийг хойш нь татсан бидний өмнө тулгарч буй томоохон бэрхшээлбэл яах аргагүй ядуурл юм. Эдийн засгийн өсөлтийн доктортой нэмэгдүүлэн, төрөлжүүлж, баялагын шударга хуваарлт хийх нь ядуурлыг бууруулахад чухал ач холбогдолтой гэдгийг онцлон тэмдэглэхийг хүсэж байна. Эрхэм төлөвчдөө COVID-19 хэмээх вирус хүн төрөлхтөн эдийн засаг, улс орнуудын засгийн газарт хүндхэн сорилтыг авчирсан ч улс хоорондын харилцан хамаарал ямар гүн гүнзгий болохыг, мөн хамтын ажиллагаа ямар чухал болохыг бидэнд юу юунаас илүү ойлгуулж байна. Цар тахлыг даван туулах, ганц зам болох вакцинжуулалтыг эрчимжүүлэх чиглэлээр улс орнуудын засгийн газар хичээнгүйлэн ажиллаж, бүс нутгийн хамтын ажиллагаа үр дүнтэй өрнөж байгааг сайшин тэмдэглэхэд таатай байна. Хөгжиж байгаа улс орнуудын нэг шаардлагатай байгаа вакцинаар хангахад манлайлан оролцож, тусламжийн гараа сунган хамтран ажиллаж байгаа бүс нутгийн түншүүд, тэр дундаа бүгд найрамд Хятад улс, Оросын холбооны улс, бүгд найрамд гэмтгэх улсад талархаж байгаагаа илэрхийлье. Азийн улс орнууд цар тахлыг хурдан хөнж чадсанаар бүс нутгийн эдийн засгийн өсөлт энэ жил өсрөнгөө буюу дотоодын нийт бүтээгдэхүүний өсөлт 8% байхаар олон улсын байгууллагууд онцолж байна. Монгол Улсын засгийн газар цар тахлыг богино хугацаанд үр дүнтэй даван туулахын тулд энэ оны 7 дугаар сарын 1 гэхэд бүх хэрэгтэй бүрэн дархлаажуулан эдийн засгийн өсөлтийг 6.1% хүргэх, эрүүл мэндэд хамгаалж эдийн засгаас сэргээх 10 их нэгдийн цогц төлөвлөгөөг хэрэгжүүлж байна. Бидний хамгийн том ойрын зорилт болох энэ оны 5 дугаар сарын 1 гэхэд хилээ нээж гадаад худалдаа, улс орондын зорчигч тээврийн хөдөлгөөнийг идэвхжүүлэх, аялал жуулчлалыг эхлүүлэхийн төлөө шаргуу ажиллаж байна. Монгол улс Асын хараа 20 урт хугацааны хөгжлийн бодлогодоо туссан уул уурхайн үйлдвэрлэл, хөдөө аж ахуй, эрчим хүч, мэдээлэл технологи, аялал жуулчлал, тээвэр логистик зэрэг 6 тэргүүлэх чиглэлийн хүрээнд харилцан ашигтай хамтын ажиллагааг хөгжүүлэх, бүс нутгийн улс төр эдийн засгийн үйл явцад идэвхтэй оролцох бодлогоо цааш үргэлжлүүлэх сонирхолтой байгааг тэмдэглэн хэлхийг хүсэж байна. Бүс нутгийн эдийн засгийн интеграцид нэгдэж, талын зам, Монгол, Орос, Хятадын эдийн засгийн коридор байгуулах хөтөлбөрийг хөрш орнуудтайгаа хамтран хэрэгжүүлж байна. Мөн агаарын тээврийн либералчлал, гадаад худалдааны таатай нөхцөлийг бүрдүүлэх нь манай засгийн газрын хувьд чухал зорилт юм а. Эдгээр ажлууд бүс ба зам хамтын ажиллагааг хөгжүүлэх, түүний хэрэгжилт үр дүнд хувь нэмрээ оруулна гэдэгт бүрнээ итгэж байна. Өнгөрсөн 20 жилийн баггүй хугацаанд Азийн төлөөх Боагийн чуулга уулзалт бүс нутгийн яриа хэлцээний чухал эндэр өнөөгийн хөгжлийн шинэ нөхцөл байдлын тусгал болсон байна. Бүс нутгийн хамтын ажиллагааг технологи, инновац, эрүүл мэнд, боловсрол, соёл, мэдээллийн технологийн чиглэлээр өргөжүүлэхээр зорж байгааг бид талархан хүлээж авдаг билээ. Засгийн газар тэргүүлэх чиглэлд мэдээлэл технологийн хөгжлийн хурцсуур болгох, соёлын бүтээлч үйлдвэрлэл буюу бүтээлч үйлдвэрлэлийг эдийн засгийн гол салбарын хэмжээнд хөгжүүлэх чухал зорилгыг дэвшүүлсэн. Бид 2024 он гэхэд цахим үндэстэн болохын төлөө төрийн бүх үйлчилгээнд цахим шилжилтийг хийж, дэлхийдээ хөл нийлүүлэн хөрш орнууд бүс нутгийн улсуудтай харилцаа хамтын ажиллагааг хөнгөвчлөх, түргэн шуурхай болгох тал дээр анхааран ажиллаж байна. Эрхэм зочид, төлөөлөгч хатагтай ноёдоо. Бидний хамтын хүчин зүтгэл, яриа хэлцээ бодит биелэлээ олж, сайн сайхан өөрчлөлтийг бүс нутгийн ард иргэд улмаар хүн төрөлхтөнд авчрахын төлөө дэлхийн засаглалыг бэхжүүлж, бүс ба зам хамтын ажиллагааг үнзээруулэхэд хамтдаа оролцсон урайнд ор хуран цуглаж байгаа гэдэгт гүнээ итгэж байна. 2021 оны 4-р сарын 18-наас 21-ний өдрүүдэд зохион байгуулагдах олон улсын анхны томоохон чуулга уулзалтын 29 оны 2000 гаруй төлөөлж оролцож байгаа дахин баяр хүргэж амжилт хүсье.
下面请新西兰总理阿德恩阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Jacinda Ardern, Prime Minister of New Zealand, for remarks.
President Xi, leaders, distinguished guests, kia ora koutou, ni hao. It is my pleasure to address the Baoa Forum for Asia, and especially so on this, its 20th anniversary. New Zealand is a long-standing supporter of the forum. I would have attended in 2019, but for the tragic terrorist attacks on our Muslim community at 2 mosques in Christchurch. And now COVID-19 prevents attendance by international visitors. These are reminders, if we needed them, of our uncertain and challenging times. But they also speak to the vital importance of international cooperation on global issues. It is timely for the Baoa Forum to be focusing on strengthening global governance. New Zealand's place in the world, our history as a country, and our democratic values drive us to seek common purpose, to find strength in diversity, and strive for a more equal society. New Zealand views human rights as having universal, equal, and non-discretionary application. We place fundamental importance on the inherent rights of all our citizens, regardless of their ethnicity, religion, or their social or economic circumstances. New Zealand is a strong supporter of the rules, norms, and international framework that govern global affairs. We're active members of the WTO, the WHO, the bodies upholding the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, international climate change arrangements, and international human rights treaties, among others. They enhance predictability and stability, reflect values of importance to New Zealand, and allow the voices of small countries like New Zealand to be heard. The rules-based international order facilitates cooperation on global issues that must be approached collectively if we are to solve them. COVID-19 has provided a stark reminder of just how interconnected our world is and the vital importance of working together to ensure our safety and prosperity. And the rules-based international order will become increasingly important as we face global challenges such as climate change, new technologies, and pandemics. It is incumbent on all of us to restore, build trust, and then act in ways consistent with the rules-based international order to deliver these outcomes. I'm delighted that New Zealand is chairing APEC this year. Over the past 30 years, APEC's collective GDP per capita has doubled, and APEC has played an important role in helping to lift around 1 billion people out of poverty across the region. I congratulate China on its recent announcement on eradicating extreme poverty. APEC has served as a model for international cooperation and good governance in the heart of our regional economic diplomacy. Its proud history has been based on the principles of consensus and voluntary action. And as we are now united in navigating a global crisis, the likes of which we've not seen in our lifetime, APEC has an important role to play. APEC has expertise in simplifying and harmonising supply chains to facilitate trade. We should harness that expertise and ensure that the movement of vaccines and other goods needed to fight the pandemic do not suffer avoidable delays. APEC too has a role in accelerating our economic recovery by fostering jobs and growth. APEC has helped the Asia Pacific become the world's most economically dynamic region. It has achieved this by incubating ideas, developing best practice, and supporting reforms that underpin a vibrant and open regional economy. We should hold tight to these principles as we devise the best economic and trade policies to support open markets and a sustainable recovery. Our fastest path to recovery is by working together. APEC also plays a valuable role in convening leaders from around the region to discuss our shared challenges directly with each other. And I look forward to discussions with President Xi in that context. This direct engagement at the political level provides unique insights and helps us to coalesce around regional solutions. This kind of dialogue will help to lay the foundations for a better future. APEC should help its members find ways to more fairly spread the benefits of international connectivity across our societies and ensure that inequality is not exacerbated by COVID-19. Our economic recovery should not leave behind critical economic actors such as small businesses, women, rural populations, or Indigenous people. An inclusive recovery will be a more resilient recovery. Similarly, a sustainable economy will be more resilient to shocks and better placed to undergo transformation in response to climate change. New Zealand's investment in hosting APEC 2021 reflects not only our belief in this particular institution, but also our view that good global governance is best achieved through such institutions. That is not to say that multilateral institutions, including APEC, are perfect. Just as we will not always agree with our international partners on every issue, these institutions will also have to find ways to navigate differences and disagreements amongst their members. But they are our best option for resolving complex issues that can only be tackled through collective action. For our part, New Zealand will continue to invest enthusiastically in multilateralism, in APEC, the UN, the WTO, and elsewhere. In doing so, we will seek to demonstrate that collective action not only works, but that it is in all our best interests. At this time of crisis, we will recommit to the values and principles that have served us so well in the past. We encourage everyone to do the same. I wish you all a very productive few days. 谢谢。
下面有请国际货币基金组织总裁格尔基耶娃女士致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Kristalina Georgieva, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, for remarks.
早上好。And thank you for inviting me to the Baoa Forum to discuss a world in change. Today, we face overlapping global changes, and each is an opportunity to build forward to a better world. Let me name three. The first is the shift from deep recession to recovery. Our most recent forecast puts global growth at 6% this year and 4.4% in 2022, thanks to the extraordinary interventions by governments and spurred by the prospect of expanding vaccinations. But we must not take the recovery for granted. There is a dangerous divergence in economic fortunes across and within countries. So long as the crisis is with us, vulnerable households and viable firms will need continued support. As the recovery takes hold, governments can gradually scale back support programs, but scale up targeted hiring subsidies and retraining and reskilling. This is particularly important for low-skilled workers, youth, and women who have borne the brunt of the crisis. The second major change is the digital transformation that has been accelerated by the pandemic. China has made great strides, reshaping its own economy based on technology, and now other emerging markets are getting a push from the same digital engine. Among the economies that have the largest information and communication technology sectors by share of GDP, 13 of the top 30 are in the emerging world. To further seize this opportunity, governments should scale up smart public investments, especially in the digital skills and infrastructure to build a 21st century workforce. The third major change affecting the entire world is the pivot to low carbon and resilient growth in response to climate change. We welcome China's commitment to reach net zero by 2060, and other major economies are making similar pledges. The green investments needed to get there can be a quadruple win: good for people, for our planet, for growth, and for jobs. Our analysis shows a coordinated green infrastructure push combined with carbon pricing could boost global growth in the next 15 years by 0.7% per year and create millions of jobs. Let me conclude. In a world of change, one thing remains constant: the importance of solidarity between countries. This has been a key feature of the crisis, not just the exceptional fiscal and monetary measures, but also initiatives such as the Common Framework for Orderly Debt Resolution and the possible new SDR allocation of $650 billion from the IMF. By further strengthening this kind of global cooperation, we can turn a world of change into a world of opportunity for all. 谢谢。
下面有请联合国大会主席博兹科尔阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Volkan Bokzir, President of the 75th Session of the United Nations General Assembly, for remarks.
Excellencies, thank you for the opportunity to address the annual conference of the BAOA Forum for Asia. For 20 years, the Forum has provided a space for regional cooperation and connectivity, and has helped to amplify economic growth, sustainable development, and both South-South and triangular cooperation. It is an honor to join you on this special anniversary. Colleagues, COVID-19 has fundamentally reshaped our lives and put enormous strain on our economies. While many challenges remain, there is finally light at the end of the tunnel. Yet here, at this critical juncture, is where the multilateral system must truly step up and deliver. We have before us the largest vaccination campaign the world has ever undertaken, plans for global socio-economic recovery, and a desire from all corners to build back better. Meeting these needs will not be easy, and there has never been a stronger test of the multilateral system. But it is a test that we are ready for. With the United Nations at its core, and with a diverse array of institutions and forums at all levels, we can deliver on the promise of a better world beyond COVID-19, one guided by the Sustainable Development Goals and built on the principles of equality, equity, resilience, and sustainability. Thankfully, we have a strong foundation to build upon in the Asian region. Strong economies and closer economic integration are supporting economic growth and providing a boost to sustainable development. We're aligned with the 2030 Agenda and local and national development plans endeavors such as the Belt and Road Initiative offer promising opportunities to increase trade and advance sustainable development. Relatedly, I commend the signing of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership last November. This partnership will facilitate the expansion of regional trade and investment and contribute to global economic growth and development, further uniting countries and communities in the region. In closing, allow me to thank you once again for continuing to champion multilateralism and the principles for which it stands.
下面请博鳌亚洲论坛理事、沙特基础工业公司副董事长兼首席执行官阿尔拜延先生致辞。Next, please welcome Mr. Yosef Abdullah Al Banyan, member of the board of the directors for the Baoa Forum for Asia, vice chairman and CEO of SABIC, for remarks.
Your Excellency Wang Qishan, Vice President of China, Your Excellency Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Chairman of Baoa Forum for Asia, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the first speaker from the global business community and the only one from the Middle East, it's our great privilege to share our thoughts with you at the 20th anniversary of this prestigious event. Being a world-leading diversified chemical company, and a proud partners of Baoa Forum for Asia for the 13th time, SABIC is honored to continue this partnership this year as the honorary strategic partner. We are firmly committed to the Chinese market, and here through our strategy of thinking globally yet acting locally. We have achieved an impressive result and expect more fruitful ones still to come. Our JV with Sinopec in Tianjin is planning a new round of expansion, and we are exploring great investment opportunities as well. In 2020, shook the status quo of the entire world in a profound ways and created a world that is calling for leaders, thinkers, innovators and movers from our business community. China effectively navigated through a pandemic, which resulted in being the only major economy with positive growth in 2020, setting a strong base for growth for more than 6% for 2021. All these facts convinced us that the winners that emerge from the current turbulence will be those who embrace the need for transformation, the digital revolutions, and the advantages of collaborations, as SABIC has been well advocating all along. SABIC believes through the spirit of collaborations, we can overcome the biggest of the challenges to build a cohesive, inclusive, and sustainable world. The theme of this year's forum, A World in Change, embraces the reality of the new norm. China and Asia as a whole are key strategic markets and are critical to the world economy. The country resolved to advance its opening up policy and improve market environments for foreign investments is truly a good news for everyone. Benefiting from the strong China-Saudi relationship, China's Belt and Road Initiatives and Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 provides great opportunities. My company SABIC aims to play a very significant part in driving both initiatives forward. We recognize the need to meet sustainability and circularity priorities, and we are greatly encouraged by the Chinese 14th Five-Year Plan and 2035 long-range objectives. Being a leading player in the industry that thrives at the intersections of innovations and collaborations, SABIC is greatly inspired by China's commitment towards sustainable, inclusive future. With our partners here, we are eager to shape the future together through concerted actions towards common developments. The reality for global business is that improving sustainability, reducing trade barriers, and promoting cross-regional collaborations is essential to generate a sustainable and inclusive growth. Therefore, Baoa Forum for Asia is an ideal platform to deepen such collaborations and drive such a growth. Once again, I'm delighted to address this important forum and urge all of you actively to participate to invest in the collaborative opportunities offered here. SABIC, together with other attending companies, will continue to grow in China with the spirit of collaborations to foster better future. Thank you.
下面有请博鳌亚洲论坛咨询委员 SK 集团董事长崔泰元先生致辞。Next, please welcome Mr. Chait Tuan-Wan, member of the Council Advisors of the Boao Forum for Asia and Chairman and CEO of SK Group, for remarks.
Good morning to all, and greetings from Seoul. My name is Chait Tuan-Wan. I'm Chairman of SK Group. This year is an important milestone for two reasons. The first, and while we must be cautious, 2021 may come to mark the beginning of the end for the pandemic. The year we finally turned the tide. Second, the Boao Forum has now entered its third decade. This is a happy occasion for all those who have worked so hard over the years to drive its success. SK is a founding member and honorary strategic partner of the Boao Forum. We have witnessed the first-hand its rising prominence and influence. Over the last 20 years, the forum has emerged as a privileged space for dialogue and regional cooperation. It has also become a powerful voice for Asia, a reason that has grown in self-awareness, confidence, and that is today's driving global economic growth. Forums such as Baoa has an important role to play as we emerge from the pandemic. The challenges before us are staggering in scale and complexity. To address these challenges, we need less protectionism and more international cooperation. We need to share best practice and to harness the collective energy and leadership of all stakeholders, from public authority to civil society. The corporation clearly have an important role to play. As a representative of the business community, I believe that ESG provides an ideal framework to bind our effort, tackle the pandemic, and drive sustainable growth. At SK, we have incorporated ESG into our business model, and we see it as a part of our future growth strategy. We are, for example, taking the active steps to decarbonize our energy portfolio. We have recently purchased some significant investment to build a new hydrogen economy, together with venturing into solar power, waste management, and plastic recycling. 7 of our biggest affiliates the last year joined the RE100 initiative. This means they will meet 100% of their power demands through renewables by 2050. These are significant efforts, but to maximize the impact of ESG, we must work together to refine our measurement methodology. The measuring impact is the best way to make a case for ESG. And for many years, SK has been at the forefront of measurement standardization. With this in mind, I'm proud to announce that we have recently established a joint social value lab with China's state-owned Asset Supervision and Administration Commission. Such initiatives are exactly what we need to build momentum and to drive the ESG agenda in China and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, the dealing with the pandemic is today's absolutely priority. But we must not to roll back efforts to deal with major socio-environmental issues, such as plastic pollution in our oceans. As we endeavor to kickstart growth, let us also think about rising carbon emissions. We can no longer think of ESG as an optional nice to have. It is a minimum requirement, a matter of survival. Let us therefore pool our effort and find joint solution to common problems. I'm convinced that the Baoa Forum can play an important role in shaping the post-corona new normal. I look forward to working with you all to make this happen. On behalf of everyone at SK, may I once again congratulate the Baoa Forum on its 20th anniversary. We wish you every success.
请我们以热烈的掌声，对各国领导人、国际组织负责人、企业家代表发表的精彩演讲表示衷心的感谢。 请大家起立，欢送中国国家副主席王岐山阁下。
下面即将举行开幕式的第二环节，请各位贵宾原座位就座。We are about to start the second part of the opening ceremony. Please remain seated. 下面即将举行开幕式的第二个环节，请各位贵宾在原座位就座。We are about to start the second part of the opening ceremony. Please remain seated. 下面即将举行开幕式的第二环节，请各位贵宾就座。Now we are about to start the second part of the opening ceremony. Please return to your seats. 我们也有请后台的观众往前坐。Those sitting in the back, please take your seats on the front. Thank you. 下面即将举行开幕式的第二个环节，请各位贵宾就座。Next is the second part of our opening ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please return to your seats? 谢谢各位，请尽快就座。The second part of the ceremony will begin soon, so please return to your seats. 下面有请博鳌亚洲论坛秘书长李保东阁下主持开幕式第二环节。The second part of the opening ceremony, chaired by Secretary General 李保东。
各位代表，现在我们继续进行博鳌亚洲论坛2021年年会开幕式的第二个环节。首先，请亚洲基础设施投资银行行长金立群阁下致辞。
distinguished Vice President Wang Qishan, Chairman Ban Ki-moon, Vice Chair Zhou Xiaochuan, Secretary General Li Baozhong. It's my great honor to be invited to address the Boao Conference, particularly now as the world is striving to contain the COVID-19 pandemic, reignite the global recovery and address climate change. Today, I will focus on global governance and cooperation, which are essential to our success in tackling these three daunting challenges. For that purpose, we must uphold the basic principle of multilateralism. The Bretton Woods institutions were established to help the world recover from the economic devastation wrought by the Second World War. That was the first example of a multilateral approach to dealing with global challenges. The challenges we face today are no less serious and no less daunting than those faced by the world in the 1940s. The international community must now come together once more to breathe fresh life back into the global governance system. The three major challenges that we have to address cannot be overcome without cooperation on a global scale. The COVID-19 pandemic knows no national boundaries. It will take an integrated approach to stamp it out. The vaccine rollout will help achieve this objective. However, fair and equitable vaccine distribution, particularly to the most vulnerable group of the society, is crucial. No one is safe until everyone is safe. It's also a test of the spirit of international teamwork. Multilateral development banks and other development partners should also help the governments of low-income countries to build up or strengthen their healthcare systems. This will not be the last pandemic, and a quick mutation of the virus will continue to pose a threat to all people in the world. The pandemic has exacerbated the debt problems of many low-income countries, and their expenditure on healthcare facilities and vaccine puts a heavy pressure on the public balance sheets. However, necessary resources must be allocated for the well-being of the people. We aim to provide new money to those countries that are struggling with debt, and we will make sure that this money will be spent on productive purposes for their long-term development. The albatross of climate change has been hanging around our necks for a long time. Political commitment is of paramount importance in tackling the threat to the planet. I would like to pay a special tribute to the resolute leadership of the Chinese leader, Chinese President Xi Jinping, on this matter. China is committed to net zero carbon before 2060. It's one of the most important initiatives by the Chinese since the beginning of reform and opening up. I have no doubt that China's momentous pledge will inspire other developing countries to embrace ambitious targets of their own. Never have global governance and international cooperation been so important as they are today. The world has no choice but to work as one if we are to overcome the immense challenge that confronts us. And AIB intends to be at the forefront of these efforts. We are committed to working with our members and our partners, organizations, to achieve a green recovery from the pandemic and real meaningful action on climate change for the benefits of billions of people around the world. In conclusion, let me highlight the importance of recent China-US dialogue in Shanghai, which is an important step forward in teaming up to address climate change. Indeed, Sino-US cooperation will define the way climate change is to be contained. And this also points to the broad space for the joint efforts of the United States and China to global economic values and social values. Thank you very much.
下面有请世界知识产权组织总干事邓洪森阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Darren Tom, Director General of the World Intellectual Property Organization, for remarks.
Your Excellency, President Xi Jinping, Your Excellency, Vice President Wang Qishan, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to address you at the opening plenary of the Baoa Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2021. Since its establishment 20 years ago, the BFA has become one of the key events in the global calendar, bringing together leaders to discuss issues of strategic importance to the world, but from an Asian perspective. The World Intellectual Property Organization, or WIPO, is honored to have played an active role in your deliberations and to have participated in previous BFA annual conferences, as well as last year's BFA conference on global health, science, technology and innovation. The theme of this year's annual conference is A World in Change. It is indeed apt. The pandemic has caused a health and economic crisis and dramatically changed the way we live, the way we work, the way we play. I therefore thank President Xi for his keynote address, as well as the many participants and speakers at this forum, for your insights on the challenges ahead and what we can do together as one world to overcome them. In the midst of this long and harsh COVID winter, there are some pockets of sunshine. Human ingenuity and innovation has helped us develop, manufacture and deploy vaccines in record time. WIPO, as the UN Agency for Intellectual Property, is here to strengthen our global innovation ecosystem and to help great ideas become reality to make an impact on the world. Economically, we are also beginning to see some spring shoots of recovery in Asia. Even before the pandemic, Asia has witnessed tremendous growth in innovative and creative activities. 7 out of 10 IP filings now come from Asia. 6 out of 10 R&D dollars are now spent in Asia. Asian economies are amongst the top performing economies in the Global Innovation Index, with Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, along with the Northeast Asian powerhouses of China, Republic of Korea and Japan as the top performers. China, in just a few decades, has transformed its IP and innovation ecosystem. China currently ranks 14th in WIPO's Global Innovation Index 2020 and has been the only middle-income economy in the GII Top 30 for many years. In 2020, China continued being the largest filer of patents with WIPO's Patent Cooperation Treaty and maintained 3rd and 9th positions in terms of its international, trademark and design applications filed before WIPO. This can be attributed to China's consistent policy over decades on attaching great importance to intellectual property, and is fully demonstrated by President Xi's recent remarks concerning the importance of IP protection for China. This will place the development of China's IP ecosystem in a more prominent position, thus opening a new phase for its development in China's 14th five-year plan. Ladies and gentlemen, with the world in change, we see opportunities as well for members seeking to use this crisis to transform their economies and to use innovation and creativity as engines of growth. WIPO is fully committed to working with all of you to build a balanced, inclusive, vibrant and forward-looking global IP ecosystem for the benefit of all. And to do this, we need to stop looking at IP as just a legal tool, but as a powerful catalyst for job creation, investments, enterprise growth, economic development and social vibrancy. WIPO is therefore looking forward to working with you to bring the IP ecosystem closer to the entrepreneurs, the enterprises, innovators, creators, researchers, and ultimately to the men and women in the street. On 26 April each year, we celebrate World IP Day. And this year's theme for World IP Day is IP and SMEs, taking your ideas to market. As small medium enterprises are at the heart of economies in Asia and elsewhere, making up more than 96% of all Asian businesses and providing 2 out of 3 private sector jobs in the region, let us work together to support entrepreneurs and small and medium enterprises in using IP to bring their ideas and creations to the market. I'm pleased to share with you that under the framework of this BFA Annual Conference 2021, WIPO and the BFA has successfully co-hosted a sub-forum on IP and SMEs just yesterday, discussing how we can work together to help SMEs to drive innovation and creativity, power economic recovery, and create employment. Last but not least, I would like to express my warmest congratulations again to the Baoa Forum for Asia on its 20th anniversary, and to wish this year's forum great success in grappling with the most challenging and difficult global issues that we have to face as one world. Thank you very much.
下面请新开发银行行长马可阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Marcos Troyo, President of the New Development Bank, for remarks.
Dear Mr. Secretary General, Excellencies, it's a great privilege to be here at Baoa. And in the celebration of its 20th anniversary, as has been said here, the forum's theme could not be more appropriate, a world in change. But there is indeed another way to put it, which is to say that globalization is in transition. And the first message that I wanted to share with you is that we know what kind of world we are transitioning from, but we don't know what kind of world we are transitioning to. This might seem as bad news, but it's actually very good news, because destiny is in our hands. If we take the wrong choices, then there's going to be divergence. By the way, last week's during the IMF meetings, this divergence word was very much sounded. It's a scenario that it's undesirable and one that we want to avoid. On the other hand, we can have convergence, we can have cooperation, we can have a world of productive interdependence. Productive interdependence. That should be the aims of cooperation and global governance. In many fronts, as it has been discussed here, COVID has put the world on hold. Some say that the present juncture is to be marked by a great intermission. And from a particular angle, deglobalization, obstacles to trade, obstacles to investment, obstacles to ideas, sometimes seem to prevail. But it is also true that some trends out there, whose features were visible even before the advent of COVID, have actually gained momentum during these trying times. Today, for example, the E7, the biggest 7 emerging economies of the world, have a combined GDP measured in purchase power parity terms that's bigger than the traditional G7. It is true also that global supply chains are being reconfigured, but this is a phenomenon that goes much beyond the sphere of supply. Global consumption is being reconfigured. Marketing hubs are being reconfigured. R&D networks are being reconfigured. And that is why I think some emerging economies are rendering the old North-South paradigms absolutely obsolete, as they have taken the lead in innovation in the field of technology. Trade and investment restrictions, it's true, have made their way to the headlines. But ambitious new trade and investment geometries continue to expand. And I wanted to give you one example. 20 years ago, Mr. Secretary General, when this forum was founded, 2001, which is also the year that China acceded to the WTO, bilateral trade between my country, Brazil, and China was $1 billion a year. Today, Brazil-China trade is $1 billion every 72 hours. Look at what has happened. This is truly extraordinary. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, I say to you that even as nations face very adverse conditions, new roads of interdependence continue to be paved. From climate change to fighting pandemics, from financing infrastructure to boosting talent, improved global governance and cooperation must be the spirit of our times. In such a context, multilateral institutions, both old and new, have a key role to play. And I say that to you from the vantage point of having a multilateral institution that has been recently added to the family. It's a young institution, the New Development Bank, that was set up 5.5 years ago by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. NDB partners work together every day. They try to achieve constructive results every day. And since its foundations, we've already put together $30 billion in projects in water, sanitation, clean energy, smart cities, areas that really make a substantive difference in people's lives. But I think our value addition goes much beyond that. The New Development Bank provides a platform for close collaboration, understanding, innovation, and finding common ground. In one sentence, we work to promote cooperation and governance so that the very topic we've come here to discuss, which is a world in change, can mean the same as a world that is more prosperous and much better. Thank you very much.
下面有请世界贸易组织总干事恩格齐·奥孔乔·伊维阿拉女士致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of the World Trade Organization, for remarks.
Your Excellencies President Xi, Vice President Wang, heads of states, governments, and international organizations. Greetings from Geneva. It's always an honor to take part in the Baoa Forum, all the more so for this 20th anniversary. On this important milestone, I want to congratulate the leadership and staff of the Baoa Forum, particularly Chairman Ban Ki-moon, Vice Chairman Zhu, and Secretary General Li Baodong. It's heartening to see the in-person gathering in Hainan. But as we all know, the world is still confronted by the continued COVID-19 health and economic crisis. The global death toll has now reached 3 million. A severe shortage of vaccines threatens to prolong the pandemic, particularly in lower-income countries, and give rise to dangerous new variants. As one of a small number of major vaccine exporters, China's efforts to provide vaccines to others, especially to low-income countries, is much needed. But despite these efforts, continued vaccine scarcity threatens long-term economic consequences across much of the developing world. IMF data indicates that China was the only major economy to expand in 2020 by 2.3%. And there's a dangerous divergence in global recovery. While most advanced economies now appear set to emerge from the pandemic with little lasting economic damage, the majority of the emerging markets and developing economies will likely suffer a major setback in their continued development and poverty reduction efforts. Rapid, equitable vaccine rollout is the best economic stimulus we have. WTO economists estimate that accelerated vaccination worldwide would add more than 2 percentage points to the 8% rebound in merchandise trade volumes projected for 2021, following last year's contraction of 5.3%. Continued supply shortages, however, would knock 1 percentage point of GDP growth and 2 percentage points of trade. Broad-based international cooperation, therefore, is essential for scaling up COVID-19 vaccine production and putting the pandemic under control. That is why we convened a conference on vaccine equity last week. Vaccine manufacturers, including a major Chinese company, highlighted challenges and opportunities to increase vaccine production in the short term and to build more manufacturing capacity in developing countries in the medium to longer term. Looking to the future, we need to strengthen the multilateral system with more effective global governance to support a strong, sustained, and inclusive global economic recovery. A reinvigorated WTO would be an essential part of a strengthened multilateralism. It would enhance openness, transparency in global markets, and reinforce the certainty and predictability provided by the multilateral trading system. China, is a key player at the WTO and in global economic governance, as the world's second largest economy and its leading merchandise exporter. We are encouraged by the dual circulation strategy articulated in the new 14th Five-Year Plan and its objectives of higher quality, greener, consumption-oriented development. Indeed, trade is the link between the two aspects of China's dual circulation, and we are hopeful that a strong and sustainable Chinese economy is good for global recovery. In this regard, we are further heartened by China's commitment to a revitalized multilateral trading system, clearly articulated in the Five-Year Plan, and by Chinese leadership, including President Xi and others. China is indeed central to WTO reform and making sure that WTO works. By helping WTO members deliver results, China can contribute to bolstering global trade and improving growth prospects for all, particularly the poorer developing countries. We look forward to working with China in delivering concrete results from WTO, starting with our 12th Ministerial Conference later this year. Let me end with another vital moment, in fact, a monumental moment that happened 20 years ago. In 2001, China joined the WTO. 20 years later, China has significantly transformed itself, whilst the world has also changed. This is a good moment for us to look back, but also to look forward together on how to build a more robust and equitable multilateral trading system that will deliver results for everyone in every corner of the world. I believe it's possible if we can join hands. So let us join hands and work together. Thank you.
下面请上海合作组织秘书长弗拉基米尔·诺洛夫阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Vladimir Norov, Secretary General of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, for remarks.
Dear Secretary General, BFA, Mr. Li Baodong, dear heads of delegation and participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to participate first time in Baoa, our forum, which marks this year its 20th anniversary. Forum continuously expanding its influence has already become an important platform of global significance for reaching consensus, promoting regional economic integration, joint development and resolving problems of Asia as well as global scale. The current forum is taking place at a time when international relations are undergoing a deep transformation, strengthening new political and economic centers of influence, and forming a world order based on the principles of multipolarity. This process is unfolding against the backdrop of increasing challenges and threats to international security and the existing system of interstate relations, the politicization of global economic relations, the weakening of the global governance system, and lack of meaningful progress in reforming existing international financial and trade institutions, as well as the global political and social economic conditions of COVID-19, pose serious risk to the sustainable development of the world economy. The pandemic has demonstrated that the whole world is interconnected. However, instead of solidarity and joint struggle against a common threat, the world has moved from globalization to isolation. At the same time, the world faced vaccine nationalism today. The developed countries could dramatically increase the pace of vaccination campaigns. However, in poor and some less developing countries that are lagging behind in vaccination rates, there may be threats of mutation and new strains of virus may appear. All of this will have a negative impact on containing the pandemic in a global and national context. It is solidarity, multilateralism, cohesion, and joint struggle that should be the driving force in countering this threat. In this regard, a key role is assigned to international institutions and regional associations to strengthen multilateral cooperation and develop coordinated approaches to contain the pandemic and overcome the crisis. Since the outbreak of the infection, the member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, adhering to the principles of the Shanghai Spirit, which means mutual trust, benefit, consultation, respect of difference of cultures and mutual development, have shown a high degree of solidarity, mutual support, and unity in enhancing cooperation to counter the pandemic. China, as the founder of our organization today, provides all possible assistance in vaccination to all countries of SCO, which unite perhaps half of the population of the world, but also provided vaccine free of charge to more than 70 countries around the world. Our organization, on the threshold of the 20th anniversary, continues to act as a reliable platform for strengthening mutual trust and good neighborliness, ensuring and maintaining peace and stability, and expanding trade and economic cooperation in the world. The SCO countries stand for the formation of multipolar world order based on the universally recognized principles of the UN Charter and international law, multilateralism, the rejection of confrontation and conflict, and the strengthening of global and regional security. Ladies and gentlemen, the Belt and Road Initiative of Chinese President Xi Jinping is a long-term multi-vector strategy aimed at joint development and prosperity, from which all the 170 countries which joined today to this project will benefit. To this first quarter of this year, the number of China-Europe freight trains increased on 75%. That's why the planned construction of China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan Railway may become a promising additional route of the Belt and Road connecting China with the countries of the Middle East and Europe, as well as open opportunities for access to seaports for the landlocked countries of Central Asia, which is core of the SCO. The Belt and Road can profitably link the countries of the SCO, ASEAN, League of Arab States, Euro-Asian Union, and the European Union into a single regional territory of prosperity and joint social economic development. Dear participants, I am confident that the current forum, which has brought together numerous high-level delegations from all over the Asian continent, and the extensive agenda of the forum will allow us to develop joint solutions for improving global governance, overcoming the consequences of the pandemic, and restoring the world economy. In conclusion, I would like to wish the participants of the Baoa Forum new success, well-being, and prosperity. Thank you for your attention.
下面有请经济合作与发展组织秘书长安赫尔·古里亚科加致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Angel Gurriel, Secretary General of the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, for remarks.
President Xi, Vice President Wang, Excellencies, dear friends, over the past 2 decades, this forum has become one of Asia's leading events for exchanging ideas, and of course this year it comes at a pivotal moment, not only for China, but for the world. Now, as the OECD's latest economic outlook shows, global economic prospects have improved markedly, helped by the deployment of vaccines and by additional fiscal support in some countries. We project global GDP growth to be 5.5% in 2021, and 4% in 2022. However, the near-term outlook remains uncertain, and the recovery is largely dependent on the speed and scope of the most far-reaching vaccination effort in human history, along with the implementation of ambitious recovery plans. Doubts over some vaccines' safety and the emergence of new virus strains are reminders that we are far from out of the woods, that we have to persevere. Now, China's rebound has been very strong, with GDP growth of 7.8% in 2021 and 4.9% in 22, as projected by the OECD. Now, this is making China a very important driver of the global recovery. Nonetheless, for growth to be sustainable, it should also be more consumption and services driven. International cooperation based on inclusive, effective, evidence-based rules and standards, including those set at the OECD, will be key. Recently, we have made important headway to deliver a multilateral, consensus-based solution to the tax challenges arising from the digitalization of the economy. And at the same time, we have been actively supporting multilateral efforts to implement the Paris Climate Agreement, the COP26 in Glasgow this year, and prepare the COP15 conference on biodiversity later this year in Kunming. Also, the Summit on the Oceans in 2022. We welcome China's commitment to these events, to these negotiations, and in fact, in the case of Kunming, to organizing the meeting. So, dear friends, after 15 years and 3 mandates at the helm of the OECD, I will be leaving the organization in a few weeks, on the 1st of June. Throughout my tenure as Secretary General, the cooperation between the OECD and China has deepened and delivered important results in several policy areas, including through our very fruitful engagement in the G20. I trust that this effective cooperation will continue to provide many multilateral solutions to global challenges in the years to come. Thank you.
下面，我们有请联合国副秘书长刘振明阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Liu Zhenming, Under-Secretary General for Economic and Social Affairs of the United Nations, for remarks.
Your Excellency Vice President Wang Qishan, Chairman Ban Ki-moon, Vice Chairman Zhou Xiaochuan, and Secretary General Li Baodong of Boao Forum. Your Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by extending my high appreciation for the keynote speech by President Xi this morning at the Boao Forum. On behalf of the United Nations, it is my great pleasure to speak to you at this annual conference. I sincerely thank the organizers of Boao Forum for this opportunity. COVID-19 has brought irreversible change to our world. The global health, economic, and social crisis that came with it has given us deeper insight to the fragility of our world. However, it is in such difficult times that humankind has responded with the resilience and the determination to chart optimistic pathways to the future. According to the World Health Organization, about 3 million people worldwide have died from COVID-19, and more than 135 million confirmed cases have been recorded. The International Labour Organization estimates that the crisis has also resulted in the unprecedented loss of 8.8% of the global working hours in 2020. This is equivalent to 255 million full-time jobs. Women, youth, and workers in the informal economy have been hit particularly hard. Indeed, the pandemic has exposed the shortcomings of our societies. More than ever, we know that early investment in sustainable development, which encompasses the interlinked issues of health, eradication of poverty, employment, and education, leads us to better outcomes. The need for robust multilateralism and forward progress on the 2030 Agenda and Sustainable Development Goals has never been more clear. 2020 marked the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. The organization has worked tirelessly to ensure global and regional peace since the end of the Second World War. Thus, this anniversary is another reminder that multilateralism is essential. As the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres noted, 2021 is a make or break year. We need to work together for a better future for our planet and all human beings. As a part of this effort, and as mandated by the UN General Assembly, the Secretary General will put forward his recommendations to advance our common agenda for the future in the coming September. His report will be a stepping stone towards a multilateralism system that better addresses current and future challenges. 3 priority areas demand immediate global attention. First, we need a rapid and equitable distribution of vaccines, both for people's health and their economic security. The UN projects that the global economy will rebound in 2021, growing by 4.7%. But this can be realized only if infection rates start declining from the first quarter of this year. That means we need growing shares of the population to receive vaccinations. A global immunity gap puts everyone at risk. The new variants of the virus are spreading quickly. If many more people become infected in major economies and during the first half of 2021, governments will be required to reintroduce lockdown measures. This will have the effect of lowering the growth rate of the global economy to only 2.8% this year. We need a global vaccination campaign to deal with the global pandemic. This should include greater investment in COVAX and ACT accelerator, technology sharing, and making vaccine licenses more widely available. Second, we need urgent financial support for individuals and for all countries that need it in order to deliver an inclusive economic recovery. In the wake of the pandemic, countries across the world have taken up recovery measures amounting to about 10% of world gross product. But the relief has not gone enough. High employment and a loss of income have pushed millions into destination during the pandemic. The total number of people living in extreme poverty is estimated to have increased by 131 million in 2020 alone. This is putting the Sustainable Development Goals of eradicating poverty in danger of being missed by a large margin. A bright spot in the economy of East and Southeast Asia, which has experienced a less severe economic contraction than other regions, reducing only 0.5% in 2020. The region performed remarkably well in controlling the spread of the pandemic and showed great economic resilience. In this connection, I wish to congratulate the people and the government of China on occasion of the successful eradication of extreme poverty in the country. This extraordinary result is inspiration to the entire global community and a critical contribution to the fifth Sustainable Development Goal of the 23rd Agenda. It demonstrates the critical importance of political commitment of all levels of governments and the tireless efforts of people in China. Ladies and gentlemen, the third area where action is needed is the global climate crisis. Recovery from the pandemic must embrace renewable energy and green infrastructure. This is in line with the United Nations objective to build a global coalition for carbon neutrality by 2050. China, in particular, has a big role to play. The country will have the opportunity this year to be a world leader on climate action and environmental issues, as it hosts 2 global conferences about sustainable transport and biodiversity, respectively. The second UN Global Sustainable Transport Conference, to be held in Beijing in October, will help us rethink the ways people and goods move around the world, and how the industry will help the global economic recovery and reduce carbon emissions, thus moving us closer to achieving the SDGs. The UN Biodiversity Conference, to be held in Kunming, will result in a post-2020 global biodiversity framework. This will focus on ensuring that global work to preserve biodiversity contributes to nutrition, food security, and livelihoods for all, particularly the most vulnerable. Other upcoming international meetings on sustainable energy, the oceans, and climate change will seek to raise ambition across the board. All in all, the COVID-19 crisis is a stark reminder that global challenges can only be addressed through global partnerships and strong multilateral frameworks. The global community must deliver vaccines and restore confidence in multilateral trading system and in limiting protectionist and nationalist measures. It is often difficult to reach consensus in multilateral process when confronted with high degrees of uncertainty and divergent national interests and priorities. Countries in Asia should lead multilateral efforts to reboot and revitalize the multilateral trading system to accelerate a sustainable economic recovery and strengthen resilience for people and the planet. We can do it, and we must do it. I thank you for your attention.
下面请爱尔兰前总统、元老会主席玛丽·罗宾逊阁下致辞。Next, please welcome His Excellency Mary Robinson, Chair of the Elders, former President of Ireland, for remarks.
Chair of the Baoa Forum, my dear fellow elder Ban Ki-moon, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege to address you today on the occasion of the 20th anniversary of the Baoa Forum. I'm only sorry that I cannot be with you in person, but I'm glad to be able to join you virtually at a time when global dialogue is more essential than ever in tackling our common challenges. COVID-19 has underscored how indispensable, effective and ambitious multilateralism is in tackling existential threats, and the need for inclusive and open dialogue between China and the rest of the international community. We need exactly the same spirit in the face of another shared challenge, the climate crisis. China's ambition and commitment helped secure the Paris Agreement in 2015. This year, 2 more critical opportunities are on the horizon. The Chinese-hosted Biodiversity Conference in Kunming in October and the Climate COP in Glasgow the following month. China's actions at home and abroad can make a crucial difference. President Xi's commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2060 is a powerful sign to states, to companies, and to investors worldwide. The challenge now is how to translate this into faster action in the near term, so that emissions peak as soon as possible. Frankly, 2030 is too late. President Xi's commitment to a Green Belt and Road Initiative is another important signal. In this regard, I welcome indications that China is no longer supporting coal-fired power plants in at least one partner country, and is turning instead towards solar, wind, and other renewable energy alternatives. I hope that in the months leading up to COP26, we will see even further details and commitments on how China will strengthen its climate goals, including by bringing forward the date when its emissions will peak, and by ushering out coal within its borders and also across the Belt and Road Initiative. Following the recent ministerial on climate action hosted by China with Canada and the European Union, President Biden's climate summit on the 22nd of April, Earth Day, is another milestone. Close collaboration between China and the US was crucial in the run-up to Paris in 2015, and I hope a similar spirit will be found again on the road to Glasgow. The road ahead is challenging, not least due to the impact of COVID-19. But if we move forward in a spirit of constructive multilateralism and adhere to the shared values and targets of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, I have every confidence that we can deliver successful climate action this year and bequeath a prosperous and healthy planet to future generations. Thank you.
下面请斯洛文尼亚前总统、马德里俱乐部主席图尔克阁下致辞。Please welcome His Excellency Danilo Turk, President of the Club de Madrid, President of the Republic of Slovenia, for remarks.
Distinguished participants, dear friends, it's a great pleasure and honor to address you at the annual conference 2021 Boao Forum for Asia. I regret that due to the travel restrictions posed by the ongoing pandemic, I cannot be with you in person. Nonetheless, we are all together in spirit as part of the global community for strengthened global cooperation and governance. This year, the Forum is meeting under the title A World of Change, Join Hands to Strengthen Global Governance and Advance Belt and Road Cooperation. This is a well-chosen and promising title. We live at a time of great change that will inevitably have a strong impact on the international system. At the same time, we live in a situation of a great historical paradox. Never in entire human history have been the common key tasks of humankind as clear as they are today. However, seldom in modern history has the needed sense of common purpose and collective global leadership been as weak as they are today. And this has to change. International cooperation today is an obligation, not an option for states. Multilateral cooperation at the global level is a must if we wish to overcome the crises such as those caused by the pandemic COVID-19 and the effects of global warming. We in the Club de Madrid, that I have the honor to preside, pay special attention to global governance and in particular to the United Nations. It is essential to empower the United Nations, the only global organization that includes all states of the world, big and small, and covers all the main areas of international cooperation. It is equally important to empower the World Health Organization, with the necessary resources and authority. And most important, the world must strengthen the efforts to achieve the objectives enshrined in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the Agenda 2030. No one should be left behind. And in order to achieve this objective, the world needs practical initiatives and practical arrangements. The ongoing Belt and Road Initiative represents a major contribution in this regard and a reason to believe in a better connected and more affluent world, a world of our common future. In the past years, important steps have already been taken in this direction. We must now take further steps, including in such areas as Health Silk Road, Green Silk Road, and the Digital Silk Road. We shall discuss all these tasks in the coming days, and I shall be happy to join you again later in the discussion in the panel Belt and Road Initiative, Thriving Against the Current. I wish you all success in your deliberations and ever-growing importance of the Boao Forum in the years to come.
下面有请博鳌亚洲论坛咨询委员、澳大利亚福特斯克金属集团董事长弗瑞斯特先生致辞。Now please welcome Mr. Andrew Forrest, member of the Council of Advisors of the Boao Forum for Asia, founder and chairman of the Fortescue Metals Group for remarks.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to participate in this year's Boao Forum for Asia. FMG is proud to be leading and a leading sponsor of Boao since 2008, a recognition of the forum's unique power to bring together political and business leaders across China and the globe, working together to drive prosperity and growth across all of Asia. There is no doubt the story of FMG and Australia more broadly is intrinsically linked to the story of China, one of unlocking the potential of the Pilbara and meeting China's massive steel needs. It is also a story of President Xi's dream to stamp out poverty in your country, in China. And this takes me to the overall depth and history of our bilateral friendship. Like all great relationships, it has its bumps along the road, but will always stay strong overall, as the relationship between Australia and China is not a recent relationship. This is a relationship which stretches back over a century, where we have fought and died alongside one another in wars, world wars, stretching back over 100 years. And at the very core is commitment to shared economic prosperity, to benefit society, and above all, a commitment to the environment. This is so important because the Anthropocene, the age of humans, is going to be geological history's shortest era if we don't stop warming our planet. Ladies and gentlemen, to meet the targets of the Paris Agreement, we cannot wait until 2050 to act. We must all be acting now. Zero emissions energy needs to be available at an industrial global scale now and at a price that competes with fossil fuels. The overarching solution to our warming planet is green hydrogen. Last year, FMG launched a global search for the best places on Earth for renewable energy. Through Fortescue Future Industries, we are undertaking feasibility studies that could lead to the generation of some 300 gigawatts of power. And we're backing it up at home with an ambitious stretch target to achieve carbon neutrality by Fortescue across our entire business by 2030. FMG, your Fortescue, will be the first mover. FMG, the first mover into fully green fleet of mining trucks. FMG, the first mover in ships that run on green ammonia. And FMG, the first mover in using renewable energy to create the holy grail of addressing climate change green iron and therefore green steel. We will show the heavy industries of the world FMG's leadership, which in the world, without that, is currently missing. And we invite China, the wider Asian region, and the world to join us on this journey. Thank you.
谢谢所有嘉宾的发言。博鳌亚洲论坛2021年年会开幕式到此结束。That's the end of the plenary session of the Baoa Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2021. Thank you for your participation. 下午的分会活动将在
1